she's ready to pretty much jump straight on with us.
Okay, cool, man.
So I'll send that now.
I can't see the comments. 1 second.
And
Ooh,
I'll do a delayed thing and share the stream.
Do you know what, mate? Yeah, let's do that.
So,
Dear me.
right.
Hello, Mark. Hello, Stefan. The Three Musketeers return. Yeah!
See, you see it before me.
How are you guys doing? You all right?
Right, done. So keep your eye on that, Tom. She should hopefully be here very shortly.
No worries.
Hi, Mark. Hi, Stefan. Sorry, I didn't see you when you first jumped in. I was just doing something on a different tab.
Yeah. It's off time. I don't get round to it anymore.
Hi, Angel. How you doing?
The random hand.
The random hand. That sounds really, yeah.
Why?
Someone has a cricket loose.
Oh, Wayne.
Yeah, that's me again.
It's normally Tom, innit? He's like, I don't know where it is.
It's not me this time.
No,
Honest.
it's me. We've had to get. So I don't normally get adult crickets. We usually, for the bigger stuff, we normally use the roaches and whatnot. But we've just picked up two White's tree frogs.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So we've got the crickets to chuck in with them.
Nice. Yeah, they're really nice. They are.
Yeah. Yeah, they're pretty cool. One of them's sort of like normal size. The other one's like a little mini Jabba the Hutt.
Oh, by the way, Wayne, your last video, the close-ups you got with that camera, mate, out of this world.
Shall I let you in on a little secret?
Yeah, go on.
That wasn't with the new camera. I did that with my mobile.
How? How?
So I've just been playing around with the settings on the phone because there's like a professional mode on the phone, isn't there?
There's pro, yeah.
Yeah, so I've just been playing around with the settings on the pro mode, and believe it or not, it does some phenomenal stuff.
You honestly would not know.
There she is.
Oh.
Hey, Tyler.
I just came up and said I was backstage, and then I was checking on this, and then it's popped up, so it's working now. So like copy and paste links and stuff there. It wasn't just as handy as open it in Safari, unfortunately. But got it there okay. So can you hear me?
Get used to it.
Yeah, you're all good.
Okay. That's okay. Because I have this muted on the TV, just so I can see the chat and stuff. So that's what I'm scanning back and forward to.
I do it as well. It's fine.
Go away, Fran. You're not taking.
Yeah, there was a piece in the video, Wayne, where I can't remember what it is now, but you're like really up close and it sort of drops in from above and it sort of comes out. It's a transfer.
Yeah.
I can't remember what. That straight away, I was like, oh, he's using this new camera. Like, crystal clear, like, and the quality was outstanding. That's why I was like, oh, he's using his new camera. But whatever you're using, keep doing, because that's something else. That's
Yeah,
incredible.
So the only reason I'm not using a new camera yet is because I need to get a shotgun mic for it. Because I'm noticing, I suppose it's a bit different with the close-up shots and stuff, but with doing the rest of the video, it's got a really sensitive microphone on it, and it picks up so much ambient noise. And obviously, with the boys off school at the moment, even if they're upstairs, sort of having a play upstairs, you can still pick up every last little bit of extra sound that's going on
Do you know
on the
what one
microphone
you're
on the
after?
camera. So yeah,
Do you know what one you're after?
My camera.
Is what?
Can you hear water running in my camera?
no,
No, that's okay. It's a turtle tank running in the background. It's really loud. It's like a fountain in here.
Do
Who's got a
you know
cricket?
what mic you're after?
I think I'm going to go for a similar one to the one that you're using. That's a Rode one, isn't it?
That one.
Yeah. Yeah, apparently
they're
it's a good entry level shotgun mic.
When you're recording like this way, it still picks up sound, but obviously it just gets the sound from in front of you.
Yeah.
So if you were filming in front and hello Peter, and obviously wanted really good sound,
Hey, Peter.
turn it around the other way.
Awesome.
But yeah, they're really good. Can't,
Yeah, I definitely think I'm gonna give that a go. So how you doing, Tyler? How you been?
Not too bad. Stressed. Had homeschooling the last 2 days, and it's ridiculous.
yeah.
And it's high
So-
school work. It's not like primary school easy stuff. It's this is the reason I left school. This stuff. I hate it. And it's always like physics. Out of all the sciences they could have given me, they gave me physics. I hate it.
Yeah, I wasn't never amazing at school, but I got through. So do we really
That's
need
why I
school?
went to work on the building sites.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of the same sort of thing here. I left school and worked down a local market.
It's all right, isn't it?
Is it
Yeah.
the same market I worked in?
In fact, I was bunking off school and working down that market, and Nigel caught me. So
You and your sister one day and we had to bring you both home.
yeah,
Mentioning the place
You-
where Nigel, like there was a lot of thought went into that there where the berry is.
You was a right little Del boy, weren't you?
I wouldn't go that far.
Yeah, I love it.
I don't know. I've done model toy fairs or shows or whatever you want to class them. They're almost like markets.
Yeah,
That sounds like my street, that.
Well, I used to, instead of going to school, I used to get woken up in the morning for school. I'd walk downstairs and my stepdad would go, "Do you want to go to school today?" So, no. And then it'd shout to my mum and go, "Just ring up the school, tell him that he's sick. He's coming to work with me."
No,
And I'll go and
Yeah.
sell model trains all day.
important thing. You needed to get a job, you needed to go places in life, and it's just he went to uni and done real well and stuff, and I'm just not academically minded at all. I would rather like clean cages all day than
Yeah,
do a
same.
maths equation. Like, can't. I like going out and actually like doing something. I worked with horses and cattle, and I don't like a job sitting behind a desk answering a phone. It's just not
Yeah.
for me.
Same, absolutely.
Oh,
Told you. English language, I think, is a bit more refined.
When you hear that accent now, what's the first thing that you think of?
My accent or an English accent?
Yours.
Oh, mine. Well, when I hear somebody else from Northern Ireland, I instantly go, "Do I sound like that? Do I actually sound like that?" I don't like it.
It's a good accent, though, isn't it?
My
It's
accent.
yeah, it's spot on, I reckon.
told ya.
Yeah. It's one of those accents that you really got to pay attention to listen, because the words are.
It's like real deep Scottish.
Oh yeah, I can't
Glaswegian.
do Scottish.
I worked for a girl that was Scottish, and there was times she said stuff to me, and I would have just stood there and looked at her for a second while my brain was unjumbling what she had just said to me.
Yeah.
And and then she would look at me and go real slow, like, "I told you to do this." I'm like, "Thank you. I was figuring it out." There's no need for
Hi,
it.
Lewis.
I do. Yeah, it's a good accent.
And I'll pick up an accent as well. Like if I go on holiday and I'm running about with just like Scottish people or just English people or even Dutch people, I will pick up a European accent, and then it takes me weeks to get rid of it when I come home. And if people say to me, "Why have you got like an English twang or a Scottish twang?" And then because even in Northern Ireland, there's like so many different accents here. There's like the Derry accent. Any of you seen Derry Girls?
Yeah.
No, it's like a Shameless but schoolgirls set here in Northern Ireland. It's my friend lives in Scotland. She's got a Derry accent, and it's completely different. And then you have Ballymena, which is almost like, it's weird. We have our accent, but then Ballymena is like a town that literally sounds Scottish in the middle of Northern Ireland. Like you'd know a Ballymena accent anywhere. It's so strange. All these different accents are just not wise. And because I work so many different places, I've picked bits of them accents up as well. So the first thing people say to me is, "Where are you from?" Even from here, whereabouts are you from? Because they don't know where I've got my accent. It's real mixed. So
reminds me of like reminds me of Mrs. Brown's Boys. Have you watched that?
She's like, if you heard my accent and then hear somebody from the south, they are so different as well.
Really? Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What a TV show!
Sound
That
different.
is so funny.
Like I would think they sound different, but not.
Well,
maybe it sounds elsewhere. I don't know, but here you can definitely tell somebody from the south and from the north.
Huh.
And then we also have country accents here. You have the country accents, and then you have town accents, which is strange as well sometimes because you don't know where people are from, and it's sort of mixed from maybe a couple of areas at the border or whatever. Like, and it's funny. It's definitely good. Like, you come in, you have to ask them, "Where are you from?" And it's interesting. Sometimes they'll tell you a wee tiny town that there's about 10 people living in it, and you're like, "Where's that?" Northern Ireland.
Yeah. Huh. All right, let's have a look at these comments, see what's going on. I love your accent, Danielle. Gonna get a few of those tonight, I reckon.
Yeah.
Lord Peter making an appearance, yeah.
That's not true. We do want to talk to Peter. We've even invited Peter on the stream.
Whose is the
Are
correct?
we up there, are we?
Did he ever find the pokey that he was after? I can't remember which one it was now.
I don't know.
Ooh. So obviously, good week for Spider Mail last week for me, wasn't it?
Yes, it was, Wayne.
It's another good week this week.
Oh my god.
So you'll have to wait out for the video.
Yeah.
I'm not giving anything away this time. So 11
And you
today.
used to say that it was always me with all the little deliveries and stuff. Look,
Yeah, the tables have turned. so 11 today. I've got another 4 tomorrow. 5 tomorrow. 4.
And are
4
these,
tomorrow,
like,
and
nice,
then
like an old world that's gonna give you hell the whole time. Like,
oh yes, and another 4 on Friday.
I did an order today with PTs.
Yeah.
But do you know that when you sort of put everything in the basket and then you are over to buy it now and you're like, I could click it or I could not. It was one of those moments, and then I was like, sod it, do it. The minute you do it, you're like, I shouldn't have done that. But it's a bit late then, isn't it?
Oh. Yeah, by that stage it's too late though, and you can't, that's out of your control. Then you can't change that. So
No, it's well, technically I don't know what it is, but I've ordered. Gotta love a mystery box. Gotta love one.
are they all mystery boxes, or do you know what's coming?
No, I don't know what's it's a mystery box, so
I know what's coming. Yeah, the ones I've ordered, we've ordered specifically. So that's what 19 in total this week.
do you know what you're getting, Peter, or is it a surprise? Can you reveal?
I must admit though, I did have like an order like that back when I first started in the hobby. I think I had about 28 tarantulas turn up all at once.
It's nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
In some ways it was. Like looking back on it now, it's like, did I really do like 3 different boxes turned up? I like walked in from work and it's like they're all here. What do I
people
do?
forget is whatever you get in a mystery box, you've got to rehouse. Like, so it's not just the money on the tarantulas, it's obviously enclosures. And they're not cheap, are they?
No. 8 new Exoterras this week as well.
8?
8.
Oh, mate, you're mad. Actually mad.
I'm
So
guessing these are the ones that I pointed your way.
No, obviously I can't really justify going to collect stuff like that at the moment when we're in a national lockdown. So we've had to, unfortunately, go with new ones. But our local garden centre's got offers on at the moment, so they're quite heavily discounted.
Mm-hmm.
They're a lot cheaper than they are everywhere else, brand new. So we've decided to go for it. So yeah, 8 new Exoterras.
That's right, Mark. Peter, sorry. I don't know what I done yesterday, let alone it happens, doesn't it? Hi, Ben.
I lost sound on my phone, but I've got it on the TV or something.
We can hear you.
But it's probably going to be a delay between the stream and the TV, isn't there, as well?
So does Nige look anything like Wayne? Like, are they like spit an image?
No.
No. We'll just go with no then.
No, so Nigel and I are not actually related by blood.
All right, okay.
So Nigel is my stepbrother. His dad married met my mum, got together with my mum when I was about 6. So, and Nigel was a little bit older, so grew up like with a big brother, big stepbrother.
Oh, right, okay. I've got a memory. Yeah, Peter, I'm getting like that. It's scary, isn't it? Really, memory. Like, mate.
Yeah, it's never been like he's just my stepbrother or stuff like that. Because my dad was my dad, and I loved him like he was my real dad. And the same with Nigel. Nigel's my real brother as far as I'm concerned, and I love him like a real brother.
Yeah.
I think Luna's having some technical difficulties.
Has anyone else got anything new on the way? I know.
Well,
Peter
no, but I did have a bit of a sad moment. Obviously, 2 weeks ago, we were talking about pokies. And, well, this little one.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a shame.
Molted and everything, and looked like it was doing fine, and went to go feed it yesterday, and it was like
Gutted.
But
my
I also lost
yesterday.
my flamingo Tridus Rufus as well. One of the tiny slings of that also as well yesterday. But it looks like it went in a bad mold because it's upside down.
That's the same as my Incy. That died yesterday. It sort of like it pushed it off, but then it was still attached, like right at the end. But yeah, it's a bit of a shame, but
yeah, that sucks, man.
Is this lost we're talking about? I missed about 30 seconds of a conversation.
Tom's had a little bit of bad luck, and lost a couple of spiders this week.
I got my assassin bugs. Still need to use that. No, Stefan, you'll get there, don't worry. James is ordering me a what?
A 5-inch Cambridge Eye female.
Oh.
I knew if I was gonna.
I don't know about the
Our female's probably about that size,
I like
actually.
knowing what's coming. But I'd be sitting the whole time going, what if I don't have enough tubs? Where am I going to put them? Like, it all needs to be ready for the box coming through the door. Even then, it would be a lot of screaming involved.
That's why you've got to build up a collection of random empty enclosures.
Lose it. And I'd be terrified. Terrified. And I'd be checking every day, is it still in the tub? Is it definitely still there? I hate that.
So when are you taking the plunge and getting your first tarantula then?
I don't think I would have slept at all. It would have been awful. Between being nearly knocked unconscious every time he got off the bed to the spiders running across in front of me, I would have lost my mind.
Probably just as well we never mentioned it then, eh?
Nige says to me when we were standing in the airport, "Oh, I seen my brother's tarantulas. They were really cool." And I'm like looking at him like, "You told me before we went there wasn't any spiders and things were gonna be, you know, it was your brother didn't keep them anymore, you know, and it was gonna be a relaxing getaway." Like,
It was up until that point.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Yeah.
yeah.
Everybody.
And it also didn't help the fact
should
we
have a
went to the I went to the airport on the wrong day. Wayne drove us the whole way up, and when we got there and tried to like board the plane, we couldn't board the plane because we were a day early, so we had to go to a hotel that was 10 minutes around the corner. But thank God this hotel had a Starbucks and a McDonald's. We were so lucky. And it was, we'd been paid that day as well, but it was just like, how did we do that? When I booked it for 6 days, but it decided to throw me in with a cheaper offer if we flew a day later, which I didn't pick up. So until that point, I still thought it was a holiday for 6 days, and it wasn't. It was a week holiday, not 6 days. It was a nightmare. I was in big trouble with Nige when we got to the airport.
Nah, just added a nice little dimension to the end of the holiday. You thought you were flying home, but no, extra day in a hotel.
No worries,
Thanks
Peter.
for stopping, Peter. You have a
You know
good
what he
evening.
kept doing,
Thanks
right?
for stopping, yeah.
And you'll laugh, right? You know what he done on me?
See you
He
later,
kept
Peter.
saying the hotel room was too warm. And I'm like one of these ones, I like the heat. And the hotel room, I kept waking up and wondering why I was like an ice cube. And the air conditioner was right above my bed. And he kept turning the air conditioner on. And it must have been -3 in that room. And I'm like, I'm going to go home a day late and with pneumonia. No, thank you. He thought it was hilarious.
Well, talking about Sturmies in the chat.
Nice.
A little one malted.
Sexed it yet?
No, not yet. It's, you know, that's actually how I got it out the tub.
That's almost perfectly laid out,
I know.
that.
Yeah,
So
nice.
yeah, I might attempt it, but it is chewed up pretty badly at the end.
Yeah. I've just had one of my my little P Metallicas malt. I've just pulled the malt on that and sexed that, and unfortunately that's turned out to be male.
I got one of each, but the female
Am
sit
I
like
crazy?
literally
I
so
love a
small.
P Metallica.
Is what?
Like, that's one of the species I would like. And then I think to myself, am I crazy for doing that? Getting one and trying to.
Yeah. Yeah, there's nothing crazy about loving P Metallicas.
No,
much
absolutely
are
not.
I mean, I've got 3 slings, so, and well, I say slings. 2 are slings, and one's about 3/4 of an inch now, almost inch.
Yeah, I've got 2 juveniles. One now is definitely male. One's suspected female, but I need to confirm when it molts. Yeah, one's about 2.5 inches. The other one's about 2 inches. So sort of juveniles now. But by the end of this week, there might be some more. Tyler, I'm just going to start sending you random spiders. You know that.
Still a versicolor sling.
Do it.
Everyone says about having so bad luck with versicolors, though.
Watch me scream. Like, there would be a lot in there that there would be about 10 minutes of a clip, and the whole time it would just be bleep, 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 squeal, bleep, 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 squeal. Me on top of a Viv, more squealing. Like, it would just be a shit show. It would just be chaos.
That's just pure entertainment value in my book.
It's all right. You'd only have to do about 3 videos, and all of a sudden you go viral.
Me with the cat, like, just like
Oh.
frightening to even think about it. Like, you see the thought of getting a mystery box in the post, like, that is the most terrifying thing ever.
Mystery boxes are the best because you set up the camera and
I
everything, and
Didn't
then
get the nice fluffy kind. It would just be horrible.
you're opening it, but you're getting excited, but you don't want to show people. You know, oh yeah, I just got this. You know, but secretly you're like, oh my god.
Yeah, trying to keep that level of composure.
Yeah. You're like, stop recording. Yes, I got one. You know.
Well, that was it. That
I would
Sturmy was from a mystery
laugh,
box.
squeal, and be like, yay, you know, not.
I had the. What did I have? I can't remember now, but I opened it and I was like, oh my, the Pinkfoot Goliath, the Alba, that one.
Albert, no,
Officers.
Apotheosis.
Yeah. I literally opened it, seen it, and I was like, oh my god, just stay calm. Like, oh man, I was like, what the? I was so happy with that. That was in a mystery box.
Admittedly, though, the mystery box that this one come in, he done us like outstanding deal on it. We were waiting almost 3.5 weeks, I think, from when we ordered it. He just kept forgetting to send it out. Yeah. So for the £100 mystery box that we placed an order for, I think it come in at about 250 quid's worth.
Yeah,
That's
nice
not
one.
bad.
Where's that?
So,
PTs?
no, that weren't PTs. Where was that? If I remember rightly, it was Tarantula Shop with Damien. Is it Damien? Tomek? Damien. But yeah,
Nice.
like, you know, it's a rare thing that happens. You know, you place an order and it don't turn up. I mean, we sort of left it for a few days because, like, she didn't tell me for about 3 days, and then all of a sudden she was like, "Well, I placed an order and it still ain't turned up yet." It's like, don't you think you should maybe message them?
That's crazy.
And yeah, it was like, "Oh yeah, yeah."
There's this box
You know, because we
sitting
message
somewhere
on
in,
like a
the post
Friday, and it's
office,
like, "Yeah,
just-
all right, I'll get it out to you next week." Next week
Yeah.
will come. Still nothing by Wednesday. Is it coming? Oh yeah. All right. And that was it. We
had,
got
like, somebody
like a pair of
with a
Bohemies.
box spinning it, walking up the path.
Oh, you keep freezing, Tyler.
I'm sitting right on top of the internet box. See if I've anything open here.
So Mark was having troubles as well when he was doing it from his phone before, wasn't he? I'm sure StreamYard just doesn't like phones.
Hello, Ian.
Evening, Ian.
Hey up, Ian. How you doing, buddy?
The guy with the radio voice.
Yeah, I do enjoy a mystery box, must admit.
Yeah, but Tom, you can just walk out your front door and get one. Like, you can't do that.
You forget there are plenty of other people that can pretty much do that as well.
Yeah, but
No, not on the stream though.
Yeah, we know you.
Yeah, okay.
We
Yeah,
know
I'll
you.
give you that. You know,
Just
there's
send him
people
to get your mystery
like
boxes.
Al's Arachnids. I mean, he walks out of his door pretty much, and he's got so many legs. I think is it Al or is it Gav?
One of
I can't remember.
one of
One
them.
of the two, anyway. But yeah, like they pretty much walk out their door, and they got so many legs. So
It's the same. It's the same for Tyler. Tyler's just up the road from Creatures from the North.
And I've got
Me?
no one.
Yeah, Creatures from the North, the place that is another
What,
one in the
is
online.
Creatures of the North here?
Yeah, it's in Northern Ireland. Coleraine, I think.
When we go into Coleraine, like.
Tom, have you got your Christmas card yet?
Colerane's not a spot we'd
No.
be heading in a hurry.
What the fuck? He's still not got it.
Me?
You wait, watch in like June it'll turn out. You'll be like, what the hell?
6 months through the year, all of a sudden.
Yeah, that extra set of stickers you sent out for us hasn't turned up either, James.
I'm pretty sure because I sent a wad, not that much, but like I sent a lot of stuff with that, and they got it today, so you probably get it tomorrow.
Cool. To be fair, we've had no post. We've had dramas with post. I had to phone the delivery office to go and collect the ones that arrived today, because they've closed our road off to do roadworks, lay tarmac, and you actually literally have no access to get back into the estate earlier on. I had to park my car outside 2 roads up and walk the rest of the way. Yeah.
Crazy. No, Al lives in.
Yeah, I know. I was just reading that comment. All right, Ian, smart ass. I did see the post, or I did actually have a look on So Many Legs, and they were saying, "Oh, due to moving, you know, they weren't going to be posting out till last Friday, or they weren't going to be posting out last Friday."
Yeah.
And I was like,
Wow. That last comment from
"Yeah, from Danielle there."
that's a serious shipping fee. That.
For that,
That's like-
I'd have to make sure that I'm putting in a nice big order.
Furniture from England. That's what the fees are like for here.
That's like £50, £55 delivery for us. That's crazy.
Wow.
Well, I bought a sideboard and it came from England and it was £25 postage.
I can't hear her.
Just shocking.
Everyone nod.
I can hear you, but you obviously can't hear me.
We can, and then it sort of cuts in and out.
Yeah, StreamYard don't like mobile phones.
Can you hear me now?
As I say, I didn't like my iPad.
Yeah.
It don't like my phone, but my iPad's fine. It don't like this one.
No.
Well, that's what I
I
read
have
all
an
the comments.
iPad,
for.
but the problem with the iPad is it's completely shut.
For some reason, I can't get the comments up on the iPad.
Everybody else says they can hear me in the chat, but you can't hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you, but it's sort of cutting in and out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can just about hear. It's a little bit low, but I can hear.
Well, the volume is fine, but then I'm
Yeah.
sat with my face right next to the screen, so the volume's fine for me. It just cuts in and out. It's
Yeah.
a little bit jumpy.
My speaker's over the other side of the room, so
Christ, that's bright. Oh, my eyes.
There you go. That's an idea. Have you got a? If you're using your phone, Tyler, have you got a headset you can plug into it?
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Well, it was like she was there and then gone. It skipped. Hmm.
So did anyone see the picture that I put up on the Balfury group?
Yes, I did, mate. Whoa, what a shot that is, Mike.
I haven't seen it.
There's
Well,
some
it's a little
nice,
Balfury bundle.
there's some nice
I think there's about,
webbing there.
eh?
There's some nice like
Can you hear
webbing,
me
like,
now?
you know, and they were fighting over the Mario room, weren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard that. I'll have to go and check that out.
Yeah, I think there was about 7 of them in
So the
total.
headphones
count.
away.
Yeah, I can hear you better on the headphones.
I hardly see any of mine. They're right, but then I come in the room and, you know, they bolt.
It's funny because all you are starting to break up now.
Well, my
Stefan,
Balf,
100% you need a Balfour. Not just one, you know, you need at least 10. Right.
I've still only got the one.
There's something satisfying
Well,
about
mine's
having a
down in-
communal.
in literally the darkest point of the room. Basically, the gate that I've got that divides this room sort of opens up onto it. So regardless if the light's on or not, it's always dark down there for them. So occasionally I'll go and spy on them. You can always catch about between 6 and 9 out, I suppose, out of the 13.
If I turn their enclosure around, I can see them all. But then they run to the other side then, so I just got to keep like turning it round.
Being quicker than them.
Yeah, which isn't easy, is it? You know, being a... They're like, pink gone. I'm trying to get a mature male.
Or have you got any plans for your mature male, Ian? Because I'm looking for one.
I reckon he's going to breed it again.
Me?
Stefan, that is an absolute incredible idea.
It breaks up at times. How much do you have actually plug in? I
didn't get a word of that.
Or you build a dark den enclosure and do a 360 enclosure in the middle of the room.
Yeah.
Have you seen the size of this room?
You just build a really tall one, sort of on side instead.
Yeah, 1 foot by 1 foot,
might-
but 6 foot tall.
I might just put get a lazy Susan, you know, on the middle of a table that you just spin around. I'll just put.
Yeah.
Might just that. Stefan, yes. Good stuff. I have 4 females. Nice. Very nice, Ian.
See if this is better, the wired set. Can you hear me
Yeah.
now? Perfect.
Yeah, that's much better.
I think the wired further. For some reason, it just wasn't working with the Bluetooth ones. I think it was too much going to the phone at once. Phone was
Yeah.
just like, nope.
Yeah.
Look, Tom, not the lady one. I literally put them in the basket and I was like, no, because Tom would take the piss out of me. So I'll take the lady one. They were in the basket though, and I was like, no, I can't do it.
He can't have another night of it.
I
This
was,
is off
so
stream
good.
though.
I was debating on
Yeah.
having a little drink tonight. I've got a bottle of mead sat in the fridge.
Get it out, get it on.
Good
Oh, I
old
think
fashioned Viking drink. Who doesn't love a bit of mead?
Yeah, I imagine that can't be easy, Ian. Rather you than me, though, bud.
Well, I've started to make plans in my head for them when I move the 3 communals together.
Okay.
That's going to
There's
be a
ideas
hell of a
floating
move.
I was just going to say that's going to be quite an enclosure, that.
Well, luckily enough, most of them at the minute are probably no bigger than about 2.5 inches.
Okay.
And they range from about 3/4 of an inch all the way up to that.
Huh.
Because I got them all at separate times. So they've obviously all from different egg sacs and everything. So what's going to be in there, I have no idea.
Yeah.
But it will be communal of 20 in the end. And that'd be
Yeah.
my final number.
What do you reckon the record is? Like, someone must have,
I
like...
don't know, because I was hearing Jaden or something say on the Raggy stream yesterday
100,
that
wasn't it?
someone now is about 150 or something,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
200
yeah.
or something.
I heard that. Imagine that. Like, imagine feeding that. It's like 4 tubs of crickets going in.
Yeah, that's mad.
That's goals.
You need some serious space for that enclosure, wouldn't you?
No, I could take you up on that if the lockdown ever ends.
Yeah.
The more eyes, the better.
Ian just said, I'm not even going to...
Tarantula room.
Yeah,
just
200.
that. What? You imagine that rehouse.
Surprise me if Ian don't actually do that, because, like... You watch, he will. He will. Or you get like 205 or something.
Wow.
You got to do it, man.
Yeah. So it's official now. The dining room is officially becoming the living room, and the living room is officially becoming a reptile room.
Nice. That's going to take some moving about, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I've got a busy week. We need to get it done. We need to get it done before
Hide
Monday as
all
well.
to the one room.
Are you going to bring the snakes in or just leave them out there?
So no, the snakes will stay in the snake room.
Yeah.
But all of the other random bits and pieces that are kind of scattered throughout the rest of the house will all be brought into one room.
Oh, okay. How about, I don't want to say it in case one day you do a video on it, but the ones which are upstairs, Sarah's.
Oh yeah. No, they're gonna stay upstairs.
Oh, okay. That
Yeah.
would definitely be a centerpiece, though, wouldn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Yeah. No, that's definitely something Sarah wants to do. She wants to do a couple of videos on her little bits and pieces.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're leaving that one for her to introduce properly.
Oh, can anyone else hear that cricket?
Yeah.
Why? It sounds like it's like sat on your
Mhm.
microphone.
It's right there.
Oh my god.
So the microphone on this camera is actually pretty good. This is a really old webcam that I'm using actually. I've had for about like 10 years.
I'm sure they
You
will,
found your
yeah.
old webcam the other week, didn't you?
I know.
You see the shadow moving in the background there, like, wow, that's been brother shadow.
Had to wiggle the bottom there to make me. I just says to him there, I didn't even have to say anything. I just picked the cup up and sort of wiggled it, like, excuse me, cup up. Thirsty. Of two dogs staring at me.
Poke him in the face. Go on, poke him right in the face.
Idiot, hang on a wee second. Hang on.
Oh, dearie me.
It's the pointy end as well.
So Tom's just getting the abuse tonight.
Ready for getting up? Come here. Come here.
Aw.
Hershey's upside. Oh my God. Right. Come here and sit down. Oh, here's the wee one. Right, quick. Bella. Come here. Come on. My goodness. Right, sit down. Right, come here. Stop. So, that's them two.
Angel, right where you're
Two
sat,
head cases.
you got the name, and all we see is like your eyes above the. Yeah,
Aw.
it's like the perfect. Like.
I've got my phone on like a clamp for the table, and Bella is sniffing every inch of it to make sure it's. Is it acceptable?
That's her one. She'd be like, Wingardium Leviosa. You watching him? Tom's
Not
pokey
real
stick.
ones don't need ones, do they?
No.
That's very true, Danny.
Our house goes mad. Are you still sit down?
What you vaping today, Wayne?
So is anybody else having to do homeschooling, or
Yeah. Still on the same, mate. Yeah, Sarah's doing it with the boys at the moment. But it's not so bad with them because it's kind of like give them a little bit of colouring to do. They can do some really, really simple maths and some really simple words, and that's pretty much it.
I wish I was teaching the boys and not my son. It's very, very difficult.
Just going to find the charger. That,
I'm like, can they not like send you home? Like, want you to learn how to like do a water change or skip the yard out, or clean out a few snakes, maybe do a couple of feeds, put a wash
This is
on
what I
or
said. Yeah,
some dishes.
this is what I said to Sarah. So I said to Sarah, like, just get them involved in like doing bits and pieces with the animals. It's still classed as education, isn't it? This will be another one of those times where James is like, I'm glad I don't have any kids.
Yeah, no thanks.
It's been hateful. It's been 2 days of it. Last night it was till like literally like you were getting on top of stuff and you thought you were clearing it, and then the next thing you went back to your inbox and there was like 12 more emails for subjects, and you're like, what do you... It's just madness. So I'm just writing them down and going through them as I can, like, but
yeah, we're not
I didn't
getting
think I
anything
needed
like
to know anymore. I do need to know.
Our kids' school haven't released anything like that. They're just kind of giving you a rough idea of what you need to do and left everyone to crack on.
Yeah, I don't have kids.
But the thing is, instead of sending like an email that has the if they just sent you one email with all the information in one place, would be fair enough. But it's like 6 emails per subject per thing, and you're like, there's no need for that. That's just stressing me out seeing that many emails. Because then you think every one of them's a homework.
Oh,
It's like 9 to 9 every day. It's exhausting. I'm getting a couple of hours off this evening, which is nice.
And for me, I just go to work every day, so it's
Tom just gets to run away from it all day.
pretty much. In some ways, I'd rather stay home, but
Yeah. You had Christmas off. What else do you want?
that's just mean.
it's all right. I think I've still got another week's worth of holiday that I can use before June. So
Might as well use it when the sun's out, innit? You know, have a make the most of it, I suppose.
Oh, it's mega.
I can't wait for the summer. I'm sick of the winter now.
Yeah.
So
I don't win the winter.
everyone's parcels are going out tomorrow, by the way.
Okay. Can't wait.
So yeah, I say it's not. I'd like to say it's because I've been lazy and I haven't had a chance to do it. It's not. It's because I've been working, and by the time I'm finished work, the post office is shut, so I don't get a chance to get down there and do stuff. Sarah's had the kids off school to worry about, so it's just trying to find that time to sit down, package everything up, stick labels on, and get it in the post.
Yeah.
So yeah, tomorrow is my deadline. I've given myself to get it done.
Is the post back to normal in England?
He's still a bit hit and miss, I think. Yeah, as its moments. There's a few bits and pieces that.
What is it
that
you're
have been
doing at the
done.
moment? Still the same thing?
Yeah, Danielle, that's crazy. That's certainly not for me. I don't know how you guys do that. They get like proper snow. We get like a good sludge. But
yeah, they get like 6-7 feet.
Ireland's just
snowed
cold
in.
and wet. Yeah. We can't do with 4 inches and the country shuts down, never mind.
Yeah, no, those
that was like
guys-
two guys that worked for us that have now left and gone back home. They live in Poland, and they said that there was like Christmases where there was that much snow on the ground that you'd be driving around places and you wouldn't even realise that once the snow had melted afterwards, you were actually driving over the top of cars.
Wow.
that's crazy, man.
Yeah, but like people would just abandon their cars because it would get stuck somewhere and just
Yeah,
leave
yeah.
it all the way up until the snow melted away and then go back and collect it.
Yeah, that's mental.
Insane. How many people we got in?
I disappeared there for a second. The dog was eating something she shouldn't have been. What?
Oh, this chocolate bar in front of me keeps looking at me. It's disgraceful.
Eat it.
What are you doing?
I've
It.
got one of these looking at me.
Oh, mate, that stuff is so expensive.
On offer at the minute down at our end for £2.50, I think, a bar, which isn't too bad.
It's good stuff, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
You could
But
easily
yeah,
muddle that.
generally, I think the normal
What sort of
pricing there
chocolate does
is
it taste
close
like?
to £4.
Mm. People get drunk here. Whiskey, Oh, imagine that, getting so drunk that you can't. Oh, that's crazy.
Imagine losing your car for the entire winter.
You would need it down there as well, wouldn't you? Everything's so far away.
Yeah, I'm just going to see the neighbour.
Does anybody
I'll be
else lose their
back
car in the
in
car,
about
park it, go in, do their shopping, come out, and then can't find it?
That's insane. Oh, 2 seconds. I'll be back in a moment.
What's the plan for this week? Is everybody like, what's everybody doing? Are they working or what are they doing to this week?
Well, I'm furloughed, so I'm not at work. So nothing for me. Bloody cricket.
Like I say, for me, I'll
Homeschooling
go
for
out
me till
until
Friday.
6 days a week. I work 6 days a week generally.
Are you busier now, Tom, or?
We are, but then we did only just have that sort of big storm coming, didn't we, as well?
Yeah.
So we're doing a lot of repairs as well as our works at the minute.
Okay. Huh.
But yeah, we're stacked.
Nice.
I mean, for us, it's that whole thing that, truthfully, you don't really have to come in contact with anyone other than the people you work with. So,
Yeah.
Even customers, when you go and see them, you can sort of pretty much distance yourself. Even with knocking on the door, you can knock the door and then stand back. And
Do you ever knock the door and run away, like?
not
was a joke.
exactly.
Don't answer.
Oh, well,
Do you remember the
I
game?
knocked the door today and no one answered, so I walked away.
Do you know what we call that game here? Belfast.
Go on.
Belfast.
What is it you call it?
You rung the bell and then Belfast.
Oh, Belfast. That's what you call it.
You ring the bell and then you run really fast.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, Wayne, you naughty boy.
Wayne's got a share box. Look,
Is that a chocolate cake? A full.
Chocolate eclairs.
Is that a chocolate? Like a full chocolate cake?
Pack of 4 chocolate eclairs.
Oh God. No, not cream.
Oh yeah. I'll inhale those in a minute.
The thing is, you actually do. You just push it with one finger, and it's gone.
You guys are
Like
never going to
one of
let
your-
me forget that, are you?
That is one of your many hobbies, not hobbies, skills. So, why do you think you're good for this job? Well, I can inhale and eclair, like, quick.
yeah, but that doesn't help you sell stocks, sir. You know. Yeah, but
Oh.
Our bulldog can do that with a slice of bread, like a full slice of bread, just vanish.
Why is it when a dog eats, it likes to tell everybody else it's doing it with the noise? Oh my god. It's like, yeah, we get it. You got food. You don't.
Our bulldog sounds like a pig in a trough.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
It's horrible, isn't it? What mine's got a tendency of doing now
It's funny.
is coming up, sitting next to you, letting one go, and then slowly walking off.
Yeah.
And then just that, they're like,
Our bulldog does that.
was that me? Or,
Rotten.
Christ, am I getting that old? I
Horrendous.
didn't realise I'm doing it.
I have to check there's no poo because it's that bad. I get up and look around my house. And she's sitting there looking at me like it wasn't me. Or she looks at you like, you done that? And you're like, no, that was you. All on your own.
When they do it, and then they spin around, like, what the hell was that? It was you. They got to have a sniff, like, just in case, haven't they? Like,
Yeah. Or the one that my bulldog does is she lies there, she'll pretend to be asleep. She lies there like she's asleep, and then she'll drop one, and then the minute we look at her, she wags her tail, so she wafts it around the room. You're like, you're doing that in badness.
yeah, they waft it with their own tail, like, oh, get out of here. Dirty guys. Oh, man. Nah, they're funny dogs. Absolutely hilarious.
Lan here cleaning herself like butter wouldn't melt.
Yeah.
Bella, do you poop?
Oh, look at that face.
Who's that? Can you see yourself on TV?
Bella.
The confusion. Who's that? Is there a dog on TV? That's you. You're a big child, aren't you? Yeah, hello. Hello. Yes, hello. Man here now with her head on my lap. Who's that? Look, you're on TV.
Hello, puppy.
Hi, Bella. She's like, what's going on?
Who's that? They're talking to you. Look. Yeah. It's not me talking to you, it's them. Thank you. We do this together now. Is that how it is?
Mine's a bit like that, then, you know.
When I watch anything on my phone, this is what I have to deal with.
She likes to share.
You're a big kid, aren't you? It's her phone. It's ours, isn't it? Look, see you there? She's so confused. She sees herself on the TV as well. Oh my goodness.
Give her a headphone and just be like, look, listen.
She can. I think she
It'd
can
be
hear
weird
you.
if she started
Like
barking back, though.
she's just.
Yeah.
She's cat like. She usually lets a sound out of her. Like, can you hear them? Is that where this is coming from? Yes, that's where the song's coming from. You good? Okay. All right. She's bored now. So long it lasts. It's not what she wants to watch. So she's way to sleep. Thank goodness. And now I have the terrier at my feet. Look, Anshin, aren't you? She is a bit of a funny ear at the moment, so she's going to have to go to the vet. Aren't yeah.
Oh,
Does anybody use anybody's dog have bad ears? Or ever anybody dealt with a bad ear?
well, you remember Kaiser, didn't you? Yeah, he had bad
reminded
ears.
me
He
of
ended up
Dolby.
walking
Especially when you cut his hair.
We had to have his ear canals had to be removed in the end because of those recurring ear infections.
The thing is, I put a cleaner in it, right? She seems to get a dirty ear. I put a cleaner in it, right? So she stops scratching it. Then you get 3 or 4 weeks of nothing. Then all of a sudden, she's itching like mad again and shaking the head like mad. And you're like,
Yeah.
oh, they're dirty, clean them again. And it relieves her again for a while, but it just doesn't seem to. So I think, of course, antibiotics probably and some sort of different cream. But I use the stuff that my vet used, where I done my training, and it's not clearing it up really. So it clears it for a couple of weeks and then. But it's not making her, like, she's not falling over or off balance or anything with it. So it's not like a chronic ear infection. I know that much, but I just think she's never had a problem with her ears before. You know, this is only just the last, from November time, maybe.
Right.
So, but she's fine now. Like, her ear was bad yesterday. I put the stuff in and she's been fine all day. And then you're like, do I need to take her to the vet? Is she okay? It's
frustrating, isn't it?
She doesn't seem to be in pain with it, though. It's not affecting her, but it is, because I wish you could just tell me, you know, do you need a course of antibiotics? Because she'll not take an antibiotic. My dog has the sense to know when she needs, like, she was attacked this time last year. And when I got her to the vet made Metacam for her, because she had puncture marks and stuff. I got her all cleaned up, clipped her all right the way down to make sure all the wounds were clean. She has a couple of scars, but it's only when I clip her real short you can see them. But she wouldn't take the Metacam. She would take the antibiotic for the underlying infection, but she refused point blank to take the Metacam. And it was honey flavored as well. And she'll take honey from me, no problem. But I could not understand why she wouldn't take the Metacam, because it smelt and looked just like honey. But as soon as you put it on her food, she was like, I don't know if it made her feel light or what it was, but she did not want it. So she ended up just antibiotics. And it was a tablet. I thought that was going to be the hard thing to get into, or where the Metacam was a liquid. But I've still a bottle of Metacam in there, and there's a mil out of it because she refused to take it.
Fussy dog.
She's, see, with food and stuff as well, like she's not, you see, with food, that dog is not fussy. Neither of them are. Like, they like their food, especially my wee one. She's cat for food. Like, I have to put her behind the gate most of the nights when I'm eating, because she literally sits like here, just staring into my face while I'm eating, and I'm just like, can you back off a tad? Like, just where Bella will sit about away and just look at me like, you'll share, won't you? Where Bracken's like, you're going to share, you're going to share, you're going to share.
Like, you're really enjoying that, Tom.
What are you just saying now?
Say again.
Tom's just quietly in the background, like.
Chocolate chip muffin.
So how many will that be by the end of the week, Wayne, once all the boxes arrive?
19 this week.
I couldn't go up 19 in a week. Like, I have to do like one animal in at a time, because, right, does anybody else do this, right? Maybe because you have spiders and you've lots of them, it's maybe not the same thing, but because we have reptiles, you obviously take up a little bit more time than the spiders and stuff. But if I get it, like, I got a pair of hognose last year, and you see the anxiety I had on the run up to getting them. I was like, that's 2 more snakes in the collection. That's 2 more I have to feed. That's 2 more I have to take care of. Like, now you can't go near my hognose. Like, you know, he's allergic to bees. So I am not taking the risk in the middle of COVID, him getting bit by a hog. And my female is evil. Like, she just wants to eat me. If it's not nailed down, she'll eat it, sort of a thing. Where the male will think about it before he opens his mouth and tries to eat you. He's more curious. But, like, I'm terrified even breeding the pair of them, because I'm worried she's going to eat him. She's that ravenous. Honestly. She was, until I moved her into the snake room, and he's still in our bedroom because I need to move a unit from our bedroom into the snake room to put him in the snake room because I've run out of space in the snake room. I need to go up more rather than like the top of the rack's full. Then there's a Viv. Like, I just need more space for stuff, and I just don't have it. So when I bring his in, then I can move all the hog nose onto the one unit. But I need to move the unit with him in first. But I can't move that unit because the unit that's going to go in beside my bed is in my living room, and I've still a sideboard to go in where it's going. So I haven't built the sideboard yet. So I have a whole lot of stuff I have to do before I can actually move him into the snake room. It's probably going to be about March before he's in the snake room, but I try to keep snakes in one room, the rodents in one place out of the road, and then the only thing we have, like, that you can see in our living rooms, obviously the dogs will have a turtle and a fish tank. That's it. So people, when they come in here, don't know the amount of animals I have until they go up and start opening bedroom doors, and then they're like, oh, right.
Okay.
It was funny, though, when I first moved in here, my landlord was doing checks all the time, like every 6 months coming and doing checks. And I was so paranoid about having the rodents. And I used to physically take the rodents out of my house and bring them to the neighbours and hide them while the landlord commented on the check, and then went and got the rodents and moved them back into the rodent room again. I was like, and then after about 6 months of being here, I was just like, nah, I'm not moving them again. So the next check that he done that we're here, and he hasn't said anything. He couldn't care less about the animals I have, which is brilliant because I was so worried that, oh, can't do this too much. But thank goodness it's been okay so far. And then I told him I was going to breed my dog, and he was actually said he wanted a pup, so that got me off of that as well. So that'll hopefully the summertime this year, when she comes into heat in June time, take a litter of puppets, and then that'll be her done with pups. I'll not breed her again, but I want to keep her line obviously for myself.
Yeah. Yeah, Tyler, question there for you from Danielle.
Dark purple. Yeah, Rocky Mountain Spider has been messaging me back and forward all week, and been working on logos and stuff. So
how's it looking?
Going well. Thank you. It's looking well. Looking well. With the logo and the writing and the color of the writing. So it's a process. And then obviously we're on completely different sleep schedules and waking schedules as well. So it is. I usually don't get the messages till like when I wake up the next day. I'm like, right, okay. And you reply. It's encouraging me to check Instagram as well, because I'm not on Instagram enough, to be fair.
She's
I'd love one, right? I really would. But right, I don't know if I'm ready for one just yet. I haven't made a decision yet. It'll be a couple of years before I make my final decision. Like, there's a lot of things need to fall into place and stuff first. So, or not fall into place rather than fall into place, if that makes sense. So
yeah.
If the plans that I have don't work out, then yes, we definitely take a marmoset on. I'd take a couple of marmosets on, to be fair, but I like the sugar gliders. They're nice, but all of them, they're the only thing frightens me. I love skunks. I love skunks as well. I'd love a skunk, But the problem, I have a ferret, and that's probably as close as you can legally get to really keeping. He smells like a skunk, but he's half Angolan. He's one of the real fluffy ones. So in the winter time, he's just like a pom-pom. He's just fuzz. But it's the diet with the exotics that frightens me. Even the sugar glider diet, there's just so much to it. And seeing the marmoset diet, it's pretty scary as well. And then it's sourcing the correct foods and the correct nutrition for the marmoset. A lot of it you have to order from America to get the right things that you need. And it frightens me a bit, you know what I mean? Because I would hate to have an animal that I can't provide for. I want to be able to provide everything I can for that animal. And if I can't do that, I wouldn't take the animal on, because I don't think it's fair. You know, if like taking, you know, reptiles and stuff's not so bad. With taking like rescues and stuff, you know, if somebody was really stuck, and I have took rescues and rehomed snakes, you know, got them back up to weight or whatever, or bought them cheap, and some just gave away and homed, you know, I didn't have a breeding project for them or whatever, and they wanted a snake, and the snake was well started, it was a good feeder, and I'm happy enough with corn snakes and stuff, like, to give them to people, you know, like, we had an albino corn snake, and we had friends came here, and they loved him, because he was like a juvenile at that stage. He was maybe a year old, but he was really quiet. And he went to them, and they have him, and they're happy enough with him. I gave them the whole setup. It was just obviously a tub and a heat mat and all of that there, and they were good to go. So I said at some stage, if they wanted to move into Viv the Cooter, they could just up the box size. It was up to themselves. And they're happy enough with a snake. But usually, you know, anything I take on, I have a breeding project for it, and I'm looking for it. Like, it's very specific, my list of the things that I'm after. Everything I have has hey, or he's upstairs talking about playing his games, and Bella thinks somebody's trying to break in. Yeah, she's way to investigate. So I have hognose there, of corn snakes there, and that's all I keep. And then Nige, he keeps boas, all different types of boas. I don't keep. He has one corn snake, and then the rest is all boas. There's her Brazilians. There's Rosie. She's the big boa, or whatever she is. I'm not sure what is. That's the one you sent us with, in the female.
Oh yeah.
She's up into a 4x2x2 Viv now. She's a big lump. And then he has a male albino boa there. He's had from a hatchling. He has a Solent Island boa. And that, they're by daylight. Like, he originally got them for breed, and then he was like, they are not a patriot animal. Like, they are very, very by day. Yes, they're a small boa species if you're into boas and stuff, but they're definitely not for first time keepers. They can be, well, if you get them in there feeding all right, that's a plus again, but at the same time, they can be really, really difficult. They need humid conditions and all that there. And then the males you're actually recommended to take the males off heat altogether. So the females, you keep them, but they're meant to be on a very low heat. And then there's sand boas there, but they're just pets. We don't have any pairs of them. We've just a female canyon and a male rough scale.
Yeah.
And then there's the 2 hogs of mine, the 8 corn snakes, the 2 Brazilians, blue-tongued skink. We have a blue-tongued skink. Blue-tongued skink. I'm trying to think, is there anything else? No, I think that's all we have at the moment. So there's about 20 reptiles there. And then rodents with tons of rodents, but I enjoy the rodents. I honestly do. I like the rats even just as pets. We have groups of rats that are just solely for pets, like. And I like them as pets, but I just don't think you get long enough with them. You know, I suppose it's weird keeping rats as pets and then having snakes as pets at the same time.
A lot of people do.
But I enjoy them. Although they don't seem as popular
One
here.
take, I don't generally have that sort of problem that I need to keep rats or anything along those sorts of lines. I mean, rats are cool, but I don't feel that I need them as pets.
For me, they were always food for the snakes. But since we got these two, man, they're mint. They really are. Like, there's some out. They're so clever, and that's what I find fascinating. Like, they're. Yeah, I didn't think. Like, I don't mind fluffy things, but I'm not sort of. But yeah, these. Oh my god, they're incredible. They are spoiled. I can tell you that.
I knew they would be.
It's one of those things I sort of find myself going, "Hello, how are you? You all right? You had a good day?" And I'm like what am I doing? Like,
Yeah.
but
I
When
do
I
that
was
with a
at home, I
tortoise,
wasn't
though.
allowed to
So
keep pets.
yeah.
I had
Good
gerbils as a
evening,
child,
Robbie.
and they just when I was a child, I was allowed gerbils, and my dad thought it was a good idea to bring a male and female gerbil home and put them in the same cage. And you can imagine the chaos that ensued in me at a very young child trying to get rid of all these gerbils. I went into high school and I managed to get rid of a load of them, and I got them handed off. You know, all the different science classes in school. Everybody got a set of gerbils. Here you are, pets for the classroom. Just take them away. And then after that, my mum was like, no animals. And then I started working. And when I started working, I decided, right, I wanted a hamster. So I always had a hamster. And I had a hamster for years without my dad even knowing I had the hamster in the house. And then when I was 16, I done work for a breeder. And I arrived home with a Chihuahua. And that was the only pets I was ever allowed to have with my dad's, apart from fish. So when I moved out and I had my own place, I just went clean nuts. At one stage, I had like 20 dogs. It was just shocking.
Hi, Robbie. How you doing, mate? All right?
I was pretty much the same, though. I wasn't allowed to keep anything when I lived at home. And then when I moved out, I started with a fish tank because I was living in a room and sort of like had this wage that I didn't know what else to do with. And then all of a sudden, I started taking in rescues of things. I had a scorpion, I had leopard geckos, and then all of a sudden it just started mounting and mounting and mounting.
It's usually how it starts, isn't it?
Well, I'll tell you my first and only experience. My first and only experience was a tarantula. And what happened was this was after we had there. And my dad thought when I was about 16, 17, you know, I was responsible enough, you know, to have animals. So we decided I got a parrot, which turned into 2 parrots because my daddy got hooked into birds. So with 2 parrots, then because my brother had no pets and he wasn't a fan of the birds, he decided we went to the reptiles, and I thought I could get him talked into a corn stick. And no, he decided he wanted Chilean rose. So I was pissed off the whole way home because I was terrified, like absolutely terrified. And he kept it in a fish tank, right? And this fish tank was like, it's a 55 or 55-litre tank. And he put just the substrate and all on the bottom. But this thing got out. I told my dad to seal the tank properly. And the thing got out. And I'm not joking you. Every day when I came in from school, I went straight up the stairs into the bedroom and looked in the tank to make sure it was a tank. Because the worst thing for that if it wasn't there, and I had a bag packed to move out, I says, if that thing goes missing in this house, or somebody leaves the cage open, I'm leaving. I'm moving out. And they literally spent 2 hours pulling the house apart while I stood at the front door with my suitcase. And just as I'm about to leave to go to my nanny's, they down the stairs found it. So that was horrendous. So they got it back in the tank, had a couple of feeds, and it was a mature male. So in a months, my dad went in and it was dead. So he decided to replace it, thinking that my brother wouldn't notice, right? So we went and bought a replacement for it. And within a couple of months, it kicked its boots because it was a mature male. I was just like, nah. After that that was the end of the tarantulas, because my dad was like, I'm not paying £28 for a spider for it to get 2 months out of it and for it to die. So that was the end of that. There was never another tarantula about us. So, and Chilean Rose are supposed to be easy to keep. My brother couldn't keep it. But mature males, like, the shop was full of them.
That's a lot of the problem when you buy tarantulas from pet shops. You take your chance. Do you want to see what Sarah stood right next to you with right now?
Yeah.
It's not glitter, is it?
What?
Oh, Sarah!
Oh,
It's a sugar glider.
I need a squad of about 10 of them.
you see it?
Aren't they just the cutest
so
things in the
cute.
entire world?
He's been poorly.
Looks like a little badger. Are their hands sticky?
No,
It sounds silly, but are their hands like sticky like a gecko?
no, not at all. They've got little claws on.
No, it
But
just
one of
wrapped.
the facts about sugar gliders is they don't have feet; they have 4 hands. You do look.
Yeah.
So they've got like 4 fingers and a toe on each foot, on each leg. Yeah,
You know that noise that they make?
Oh,
crabbing. Yeah,
What's it called?
it's called crabbing.
Oh, it's so cute, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really loud though. Such a small animal.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely, yeah.
It's gonna have a friend soon. Be a finger monkey.
my ferret giggles.
It giggles.
Oh.
Bite me.
And is that a group? Is that a group like a breeding,
like
or is that
tiny
males or
squirrels.
females or?
'Cause, yeah,
No, we've just got 3 males.
What do they work out a piece to buy them?
I got these cheap because they were rehomes, so I just paid a rehoming fee. But you'll pay anywhere in the region from about, I don't know, £200 to £1,000 per sugar
that's
glider,
crazy.
and you need to keep them in colonies of at least 2.
It's 3,000 here for a marmoset. Like,
For a marmoset, really? I'm pretty sure I just found one online today
Yeah,
for £500. I love you.
You actually gonna get one?
Do you know what?
is it a baby or is it an adult though?
It's what? They're 2.
Honestly,
older
Sarah,
babies.
hold off and buy a baby to see. It would be so worth it.
Yeah.
It's 2 years old.
No, it's sort of it's not quite an adult, so I guess it's a juvenile. This one I was looking at today. Do you know what? I keep taking the mickey, and I keep saying that I'm going to get one. I probably will get one day. But I think with the boys as young as they are and everything else we've got, I don't think it's
But
the
when
right
the kids
time.
are older,
When they're a bit older, then
that's the problem.
you know, my kids
Yeah.
are absolutely mental. Can you imagine them around a monkey?
Like, that's what I'm thinking. A few years time, maybe. You know.
They're
Yeah.
legends. What are you on about? They're not mental. They're legends.
Do you want them,
A
James?
monkey on
Yeah.
its own
Nah,
and
stop
just
that.
bouncing off
Yeah.
each other.
No.
We won't charge. We'll pay for the everything.
Stop out, drop them off.
You can do all the homeschooling, James. I'll send Ori on the plane. You can meet him at the airport.
We'll swap. Yeah, that's cool.
Or we could set up a four-way call like this, and we could all get together, and James could teach us. Yeah, we could all get our kids together, meet up like this, and James can teach them.
No. Just
James is like, nah.
kids are not for me. I'm still a kid myself. Not actually. Like,
Poor
I act like
James.
one.
James is like, I'm not qualified for this. It's nice, so you get them to like, well, 11 now, like, and he's self-sufficient, and it's nice. But when it comes to the schoolwork, it's just like, schoolwork is so like crazy. And you see the
So
thought
what
of
was
waking
your-
up in the morning again? It's giving me the fear.
What was your first step into the world of keeping random stuff, James?
The first weird thing I kept.
Yeah.
What, like spider wise?
Like anything wise. What was your first like non
I mean,
Just
generally,
anything.
people,
That's not a door gas.
yeah, people see like dogs, cats, fish, birds generally as
What started it all off was a bearded dragon, and then it just went from there. But the first
Or he wants a
tarantula,
bearded dragon, but I haven't got space for another 4 or 5.
the first tarantula was an Indian ornamental.
is your first?
Yeah, that was my first, which was bought for me, and I'm like, wow, okay. Can't really say.
How did that go?
Yeah, no, it was fine. I sort of watched a load of videos on it first, and then I was like, right, I just got to do it. And it was like, yeah, it was fine. And it's always been fine, but
I'm gonna watch videos before I even touch a box.
yeah, but all the ones I've ever had, like I've got 3 of them now. They're not as bad as people make out. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sure some of them are, but mine aren't. They're all right.
I think you know what? I think some tigers are worse than pokies.
They're just not quite feather leg baboons, James.
No, I'm. Well, I don't know.
How's that one settling in, Wayne? Is it doing okay?
Yeah, all good. It's not tried to kill me yet.
Didn't chase you down or anything, Wayne? No.
No.
well, there you go,
plus.
Jane. Like, there's my Nandu Kamatis last night.
What a beast!
I couldn't even open the front, like I couldn't even slide the glass up to water or anything because it was sat there right at the front. I lifted it just the tiniest little bit and it was like
That is full on stood there giving it the big one, like, come on, I'll have you.
My
Yeah.
agen's a bit like that. My agen, you lift the lid and it's like, don't you dare. And you're like, look at you. Like, you're so small. Come on. It's not small, but
Down.
They throw the wee legs up in the air and they're showing you the fangs, and you're like, oh, big scary spider. Do you know what I mean? Or they do the slap where they like bat you with their hands. You're like,
Hang on.
there's not really a
I'll
bit
put that
involved. It's
pic-
just like a leave me alone. They're funny.
I'll put that
Little
picture up
tarantula
on the
slap.
screen for you, Tom. Everyone can see then. I'll put that picture up on the screen. 2 secs.
All right. But yeah, I couldn't believe it. I was like doing the rounds on feeding, and I thought last night I'll do everything. So I come across that one, and I was like, yeah, all right then. Yeah, all right. I'll give you a minute.
Yeah.
There you go, Tom. I've shared the screen, mate. You've just got to.
Yeah.
That is one angry Nandu.
There you go. I'll full screen it as.
That is
Yeah,
a
I was gonna say that.
very grumpy tarantula.
It was all perfectly fine, all up until I tried to literally open the enclosure.
I mean, how dare you try to take care of it?
That's the way they get
my
on.
thoughts of it.
My hog female's like that. My hog female, I just like literally go up. Like my hog female doesn't want you to tongue feed her, doesn't want you to look at her while you're feeding her. You have to turn the light off when you're feeding her because she literally gets pissy if the light's on and she can see it. Like, it's a whole process. I just go up, leave offerings to the goddess and leave her and come back and check, and she's finished it. I'm like, good job. But there has to be a very specific set of rules. Nige moves waters at times. He can hear her in the background, just losing her mind, his place down. He hasn't even touched the enclosure. She's just like, I do the waters on them myself, and he'll go and do the rest. And when he goes up to do the rest, she's in the background, just like huffing and puffing and bluff striking the side of the cage. And you're like, oh yeah, you're terrifying. Nuggets with a pissy attitude. She flattens out like a cobra and all, and you're like, oh, sassy snake.
So apart from the feather,
What's the worst experience you have had? Have any of you ever like hurt your looking after animals?
Is what, Wayne?
We said apart from the feather leg, have you ever kept anything else that's made you think, oh, hang on a minute? No, I don't think so.
The only other one is I forget the name of it now. Is this one? I can't pronounce it, so.
Oh, the Orphanoctonus costalis.
Mate, when I got it, yeah, I just popped the lid a little bit and had a look in. It was all right. I clipped it shut. I've still got the video. I've got to upload it, and I sort of went to get a pair of tongs, and the lid just literally popped off. And I was like, I looked in, and it. Mate, I'd never seen a tarantula fold, like literally. It was almost an half.
Wow.
And I just, the lid went back on and I left it. It's all right now, but
sort your own life out there. Thanks.
yeah. Yeah, it definitely was. Yeah, I was a bit like, don't know how I feel about this one.
Got a bit of personality then, yeah?
Yeah, you could say that. But all the others, yeah, all the others are all right, actually.
It's funny because animals, if they will bite, there's some of our animals that will bite. We just label them asshole and people know. Like, I have about 3 or 4 enclosures around my house just with asshole wrote on them. People know.
How about you, Wayne? Is there anything that you?
No, so not at the moment. I mean, I used to have a female. Well, I had a female king baboon, big adult female king baboon that tore the metal mesh off the back of her enclosure.
That's crazy.
I had an OBT that used to hang upside down on the lid when it was feeding.
It's a
I
zombie
literally
spider.
it knew when feeding day was, and it would hang upside down on the lid, waiting for you to open it so she could try and get you. I'm sure that was, they say that they don't think and they act on instinct alone. I don't believe that for a second.
Yeah.
This one showed intent. It wanted to get me. Other than that, the only other one we've had an issue with actually was a big female white knee, and it wasn't me it had a problem with. I could do anything with it, and it was absolutely fine. But if Sarah went in there to feed it, water it, or anything else, it would completely ignore the food, it would ignore the water, and it would make a bolt directly for Sarah.
What? How peculiar.
It would drop food.
It would, yeah. Sarah
Those
was saying
white knees, the
it would
feed
drop
response
food.
is crazy.
Yeah, it would drop. No, it would drop food that it already had to try and get at Sarah.
How about you, Tom?
Mm-mm.
Right.
Don't think that's a species for me.
I love white knees.
The one that I'm not looking forward to, if I ever have to, is it's Orphanoctoni or Orphanoctonus or something. Unitai Tanny. But she was exactly the same. When she turned up, all I had to do was touch the pot, and she was already throwing threat pose inside of the pot.
It's crazy, isn't it?
And so far, the only one that, I mean, just don't get me wrong,
I
I've
would
had
be
slings
returning the
throw
package.
threat poses, but when you look at slings, it's like, oh, look at you.
I know.
You're going to be a
It's
grumpy
funny.
bastard.
What's this?
But yeah, if I've got to ever rehouse her, then
Where are you?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
When they're small, oh my god, they're little poo. You're like, come on. Like,
Yeah.
look. I mean, saying that, it's actually in a molt right now. That's crazy. I'm just gonna pop that there. Yeah, like they're
Yeah, and watch it like a hawk.
yeah.
Yeah, Panthos are great like that. Even when they're tiny little slings, they've got a proper little bit of attitude. You notice how they
Absolutely.
stick their bums up in the air and try and flick hairs at you. You're like, oh, look at you, bless.
Like, it's kind of cute, but
Yeah, when
I
that
did
gets
that.
if it carries on, it's a little bit like, oh, hang on a minute.
Danny, you take a reaction to the hers.
no, I don't.
Yeah,
No,
I didn't-
for the most part, no. I can deal with pretty much anything. The worst I've ever come across though was a Nandu Trapepi, and I had quite a bad reaction to that. It's the only thing I've ever had a reaction to. Early days of keeping them, I used to get like the old itchy after you'd rehomed them and stuff like that, but it doesn't really affect me anymore. But that Nandu Trapepi, I was in a really bad way with that. That got in my eyes, it got all around my nose, all around my face. I just wanted to tear my own skin off.
There's nothing wrong with old roads, Stefan. New roads even. I think I got more new roads than I have old roads. Maybe. I don't know. I need to sort of go through them.
No,
Yeah, I'm a
definitely
bit
got
like that. I
Yeah.
think I've got a bit of a split, really.
Do
Not
spiders,
looking-
true spiders, get classified into old world and new world?
It's what?
Do true spiders get in old and new world categories as well, or are they just not in any category?
They're just true, aren't they? I suppose they are old.
So it's more about where they come from. So obviously, New World species are South American for the most part. South America, Europe, Western world. So Western countries. Old World are Southern and Eastern. So looking at like Australia, Africa, Asia, stuff like that.
See if I can show you.
Ooh, Ian's got a Cereoplagopus minax to rehouse. Thai black, that's going to be fun.
Oh, does anybody on here watch
No.
Exotic Slayer and watch
There's
Miss
mine.
Thailand Black? She's a clean psychopath.
Yeah, I don't really watch Exotic Slayer. I don't rate him, to be honest.
I used to, but then I.
No, I mean, I don't mind his like midnight feedings.
I think the biggest crack I get out of the channel is to guess whereabouts he's from. Yeah. He just like, I don't want to tell anybody where I'm from, and then he's got like retics in his garden and stuff, and I'm like, ooh. And then you're looking at the color of the retics and going, is that an island? Is it not an island? Where would that be? Like, it's a big great guessing game. And then it gives like little hints, like you can't get this in his country, and you have to have a license in his country, and it's just like a guessing game that Nige like play when he's on. It's good fun. Does anybody have the baboons?
Yeah, I got a few.
Yeah, same here. I've got a few.
But like the horned ones?
Yeah, we got.
I
what are
have
the-
2 horned baboons.
They like for
Marshall
keeping wise, are
and
they as
Darlingi.
Yeah, we've got 3 OBTs. Got a sea marshal eye, the horned baboon, king baboon. We've got the H. gigas as well. That's another baboon species.
Balfouri.
Species, the Balfouri. Yeah. So actually, yeah, we've got quite a few. I like my African species though. They've got an attitude.
Baboons are great.
And the featherleg baboon, obviously. I love that face every time you say it.
Literally half an hour, right?
just get-
Half an hour it took me to get that in that tub.
it's like
And
flashbacks.
you do your video and it's just bullshit out. And I'm like, do you know what? Do one. It was
Such
so annoying to watch. Oh, that thing was just horrible.
yeah, she was an absolute sweetheart.
That's why it was in a tub in a tub. Like,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? I'm like, mate, I won't take a break.
Yeah, that's not one you want getting out in the car on the way down, is it?
Because I'd be
We
getting
thought
out
you
the
were
car
bringing a
for that.
velociraptor around.
Pull over, get out.
What? I'm doing 60 down a country lane, but I'm getting out the car.
Whilst it's still
While the
moving.
car's still moving.
Yeah.
It's fine, it's your problem now.
Do you ever wonder what would happen if one of them got out like mid-post? Postman would get away from the box. Like, it would just
Well,
be
I've-
chaos.
That's happened to me before. I've opened boxes that have been shipped out and they've got out of their containers into the box. So when you open the box, they're loose in the packaging in the box.
Oh no.
Yeah. So like before,
The packing peanuts and stuff, just chaos.
yeah. I mean, it's only recently really I've bought more off of commercial websites and stuff like that. Most of the stuff that I was buying beforehand was from private sellers, private breeders. So you sometimes don't get necessarily the same high quality standard of packaging. Oh, look at that.
I thought I'd get him out for a bit.
He's gorgeous.
Wait, mate.
That's one thing we never had much with was leopard.
He's cool looking.
How are you?
He's quite a big boy as well, isn't he?
Yeah, he's old.
I'll get you.
Still got the tail.
That's a really healthy looking leopard. That.
He's a little bit dark at the minute, but when he sheds, the color is just, it's amazing. What are you licking me for?
Yeah. Oh, Ian's off. Good night, Ian. Thanks for joining, buddy.
Thanks for stopping
No
here.
worries.
Always a pleasure.
This is my mate. Oh, no. They always look like they're smiling at you. Look.
Yeah. 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 So we
There's
bred
a photo
them
on Google if you type in smiling leopard gecko.
It's what?
Rams one took a photo of it.
There you go, mate.
Yeah, we bred them once. We had about 4 eggs out of our female, and they were fertile eggs, but unfortunately, 3 of them were stillborn. So they never actually hatched out of the egg. One hatched out, so we grew that one on a little bit, and that went to a friend of ours. But that was an evil little thing. We used to open the little pot to like drop in some crickets and stuff to feed it, and it used to jump up and try and get your fingers.
Sorry, it's just showing you his rear end there, isn't he? Yeah,
No, he's cool. So what have you actually got in your collection now, James? What have you got all
Is
in?
you starting more for anything or just a normal?
I don't know who asked what then. Sorry, it was at the same time.
Tyler asked what morph, and Wayne said, "What have you got in your
Just a
collection?"
normal, yeah. What have I got? I was gonna do a room tour, but I'm probably gonna wait a bit because there might be a few more things arriving. Not soon, but like the next sort of month maybe.
Okay.
So it's only a might. I'm still speaking with 2 people about 2 things, but yeah, I don't know yet.
Ah. I shall watch for updates from your channel with great anticipation then.
There's a bit of everything in there, really. Tarantulas, snakes, lizards, centipedes, beetles, frogs. Yeah, there's a bit of everything.
Scorpion.
Really. Scorpions, yeah. Oh my god, how do I forgot them? I'm looking at one right there, like. There's a blue-tongued skink downstairs. Yeah, just a bit of everything, really. A dog down here.
What sort of skink is it?
We put you back now.
Is it an Australian or a or in blue tongue skink. There's ones like are Indonesian, and then ones are northern. Is it an Australian one or an Indonesian one?
Yeah, I don't know. Do you know what locality your blue tongue skink's from, James?
Mine's an Indonesian.
Same here. Do you know if yours is male or female?
It is a male.
Feel. We don't know what ours is, so we don't. Who'd you get yours off? Was it Colin?
We actually got ours from a friend who was moving house, and unfortunately couldn't take anything with him. Now this was like a huge collection. He had so many snakes, burms, you name it, and there was stuff in there which I was looking at and like, what is that? You know, and he's like, oh, that's like there's stuff that you only ever watch on like telly, you know, not actually see in person, but we just sort of had it from him really. He's had him from a little baby. He's pretty big now. Well, no, he's a beast actually. But, he's okay with being handled, but he's not. He didn't like it really.
Ours is great. Ours is great. Like he's really, really quiet. So he is. He's really quiet. He came from England, so he did, and I got him off a fowl and was brought to a reptile show, and then our reptile courier picked him up from the reptile show and brought him here. I don't know if it's male or female, but we just called it Blue, you know, like the Velociraptor out of Jurassic Park, and then it kind of goes either way. You could say Blue for a boy or Blue girl Velociraptor. So it works either way.
I can't hear what she's saying.
But
breaking up again, isn't it?
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
I did just do a enclosure. You know the one with the roaches?
Yeah.
Which I got over there.
Yeah.
So I took everything out, redid it, put some different roaches in there. Some pretty cool looking species, really.
Talking about last week, you had a few like random bits in there as well, didn't you?
Yeah. The Harlequin, oh my god, they're so fast. I can't catch them. Like I've tried, but they're just gone. They're like the speed of a red runner, like, but they're pretty big. Yeah, there's death heads, there's headlight. There's just so much in there now. But put some sun beetles in there as well, and they.
Those death heads turn into the moths.
Is it what?
Oh.
Oh. James.
We lose James.
We've lost James.
James.
Are you there?
See, I agree with Stefan.
Does anybody
with
have their corn
there as
snakes
well.
in like bioactive setups?
No, that's my next stage for my corn.
How are you
Almost,
going to do it if you don't mind me
without.
asking? Because I'm thinking about turning all mine into bioactive, but it's... So what way does that work, if you don't mind me asking? I use a tub system, so it would be like just a live substrate, obviously, in the tub.
Yeah,
We want
that's
to put like
that's
isopods and stuff in because we actually we buy fresh moss and get it, and we actually get isopods on the moss. So when we put the moss in the enclosures, like the Brazilians, the blue tongue, they're all bioactive anyway because we have isopods already in there. But I haven't got like a source of isopods to breed from or anything. So I don't know what way I'm gonna go with it. And then if I buy a small colony of isopods, like how long does it take to build them up so you have enough that
depends on what ones you get. Some of them will breed really, really quickly, and some of them not so quickly. I've not had a huge amount of luck with the isopods, to be honest. They don't seem to be breeding very well.
So my giant orange isopods have bred like crazy. I went from 10 to probably, I don't know, there's probably about between 60 and 100 in there easy in about 5 months.
That's not bad. Is James not
But
popped
that's
back?
just as
and
no,
what are
James
they?
got back in yet.
Are they big? Like would they be big?
Yeah, giant orange are pretty big.
The ones that we have upstairs, they came in on the moss, but they're the wee tiny, like the white ones.
Dwarf whites and more than likely.
There he is. Tablet died on him again.
What was his tablet or his phone?
Oh,
Yeah, he was on his tablet, I think.
Stefan, if you want a Questy, then
What's wrong with
I
that?
could sort of sell one of mine to you if you want. No, but Questies are cool, but you just don't ever see them. Well, I mean, the two that I've got, it's like watching a boreal tarantulas, basically. I mean, you look in and you see an enclosure. I'll never see mine. I mean, a Madagascan
Do
day
you use
gecko.
heaters, Tom?
Mm.
Because I read different places say use heat, don't use heat. It's very up and down.
With mine are at my room temperature. I don't use any extra heat whatsoever.
I suppose that would depend on your ambient temperature, wouldn't it? I mean, if you were in somewhere that was particularly
Yeah.
cold,
Yeah.
you might want heat on. But if Cresties are 5 at normal, normal ambient temperature.
Bearing in mind, like the room's generally around the sort of 24-ish to 26 during the day, and drops to about 19-ish during the night time. So they do perfectly fine. I did have heat mats on them to start with, and I thought, no, it doesn't really need it. During the day, truthfully, the UV bulbs that I've got in there, even though they don't actually need UVB light, that gives it enough heat during the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've been doing great. I mean, originally, when I very, very first got them, when I didn't know an awful lot about them, I did keep them with heat, but I didn't use dimming stats or anything like that. So it wasn't a regulated temperature. It was basically all or nothing. So they probably were getting a lot hotter than what they should have been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, since looking into it, I've found out that giving them too much heat can actually
Well,
stress them out
what size were the
pretty
mats?
bad. Oh, I can't remember now.
The mats. So what size were the big mats like? They weren't like 7 or 5 watt mat.
Yeah, it'd probably been about a 7 watt. But as I say, like as the times have
I think they're very
changed
heat mats
and
are very
progressed,
up and down. I think.
yeah, I mean, like I say, as times have progressed and stuff like that, like I don't like to really use heat mats where I can. I'd much rather use actual heat source with a lamp on a dimming switch than heat mat if I've got to add some sort of heat source. But like I say, Cresties ideally are around the 24, 26 degree mark daytime anyway, and it drop to about 19 during night, and they're happy with
That's
that.
what mine.
Yeah.
But,
My reptile room runs about that. In the summertime, it would be a bit warmer. But if it's a real warm
Yeah,
day, like I really need curtains in my reptile room, but I haven't got around to doing it yet. It's in the summertime, I just pop the window a wee bit, and then that lets like fresh air and stuff in as well. Like, and I think that's all good for them too. Because we use the box room for our reptiles, so it's a wee small bedroom, if that makes sense. Like, it's not like a full size bedroom. And where the window is, it's like it's like instead of it being like in the middle between the two, in the middle of the wall, if that makes sense, it's kind of like right tied up against our boundary wall. So it's in a real weird spot. So even if we put curtains up, it's going to be very hard to even get put the rail up. The rail's going to have to sit slightly off the side because the wall's physically in the way. My house it was badly built, if that makes sense. Like, it was built in the 60s and it just wasn't well built, the architecture, and it's just not useful, if that makes sense. Things go wrong with it and you have to fix it, and it's just one of them houses.
It's a bit like this house, really. I mean, this was our old holiday home, and basically there's still asbestos in the walls and all sorts. So yeah, you've got to kind of be a bit careful with where you drill.
I have no asbestos here because
stuff up in this house.
my nerves would be shot to shit, like, especially with Nigel's bad chest. Like, asbestos, we could not have asbestos, like, it would kill him. Not good at all. But they're very, very good here. Like, even when Nige got his bungalow, they checked it that there was no asbestos, and they had it removed years ago. Like, the asbestos here, they make it like before you can rent it out to anybody, you need the asbestos out of it, and they do checks to make sure that it's all out. So,
good evening, Sean.
I think, but like, we even have. We would even get problems even times here with, like, damp and mold and stuff. It's really, really annoying. But it's just because it's an old house and it just not good bones in it, really.
Yeah.
I know, that was like here. I mean, I had to replace some floorboards.
What's your new house like, Wayne?
And I mean, you pulled up some floorboards, and all you can see is the actual ground underneath you. There's nothing between the floorboards, and we're literally just sat on a couple of stilts almost around the house.
Yeah, the place we were in before we're at now, that was not
I've frightened the life out of
fantastic,
me.
to be honest. The new place, I say new place, we've been here 18 months now. But the new place is quite good. It's fairly modern-ish, semi-detached. The only problem with it is it's got very, very hollow walls. Every single wall in the house is just hollow, covered with plasterboard. So, like the cats walk upstairs, and it sounds like someone's trying to smash their way through
I had
the
a
roof.
house like that before, and it was bad. My old house like that. It was all like a wooden frame, brick on the outside, a wooden frame, and then plasterboard. Where
Yeah,
my dad is like, the building that he is proper bricks and mortar and cement, and it's, you know, there's no piss about. Do you know what I mean? The houses are built to last.
yeah.
But this here, I mean, at the moment we have a leak in the gas somewhere. It's the water leaking out of the gas, the water pressure, not the actual gas. Then there's a leak somewhere that was under our bath, right? But that same leak since the girl next door lived here. So it's been like that for 10 years now. That when I came to view this house 5 years ago, they had the bathroom ripped out. So you think they would have filled the leak when the bathroom out, but they haven't. The leak is still the same leak, and she said from next door it's the exact same leak in the exact same spot. And another thing that we have that's weird about this house, our fuse box, right? You're gonna laugh when you hear this. Our fuse box is the old fuses, you know, with a wire. So every
I thought
time a
they were
fuse
illegal
blows,
now.
you have to buy that wire, and
Three
it's like
phase.
rewiring your gaff.
Wow.
So did I. Because it's just like, and then just see trying to get the wire for a stage. We had no lights in the bottom of our house for over a week because we couldn't get the wire around. We had to send a China. Oh, it's one of them houses that anything you do in it, it's just a job or a task in itself. Another thing this house is good for, blowing bulbs. Like, I'd be lucky. I replaced bulbs the other week, and I got 2 on and offs off it before the blew. Uses and blew. And I'm like, how does that happen? So I have to put real low wattage bulbs in this house. Like, I'm going to end up buying, like, if you even look at that light above me, it's very yellow. And I'm going to go and buy white bulbs for the whole house because these yellow bulbs are driving me mad. Probably LED ones and they'll last a bit longer.
Yeah, LED bulbs are pretty cool. You get a much better quality of light out of them.
Well, guess what? I finally changed it.
I noticed.
It's no longer a
My
50
dad,
watt bulb.
Everything's a little bit clearer this week.
Heat.
I actually finally changed it for an LED bulb above my head.
No, my dad.
So, what did we have for
Look, see,
dinner
for
this
20
weekend?
LED bulbs, it's really expensive.
What did I have? Nothing yet.
What?
Yeah, I ain't had anything yet.
That's not good.
Oh my god, yeah, I've not actually eaten today.
What are you going to have?
I don't know.
Well, Stefan's straight in.
Yeah. He's been
What
waiting
is
for
that?
it. He's had it typed out, ready to send the minute we are.
Very
Copy
nice.
and
Stephanie.
paste.
Yeah, you can't beat a classic spaghetti bolognese. What did you have, Tom?
I had 2 pies and chips. One
That's
was
what
a
I'm gonna have,
creamy
pie.
chicken,
Mm-mm.
and one was a steak.
Nice. Tyler?
I think.
puffy. Haven't eaten anything today, to be honest. I'm not hungry.
Oh.
I don't
I-
have time to
I-
eat today, and I don't want. I'm not hungry, honestly. Between homeschooling and everything else, I'm just
What did you have,
not
Wayne?
even thinking about eating at the moment. Although I did last night, so I'm not like starved or anything. I had pasta last night.
I had a very simple tea this evening. It was some breaded southern fried chicken with some breaded halloumi fries.
What do you think of those?
I quite like them.
They're all right, aren't they?
Yeah. Sarah's in the background going, "Bleh, bleh."
I quite like halloumi, like squeaky food, isn't it? Like
Squeaky cheese. Squeaky
Yeah,
cheese.
Angel does that with pretty much every food, so you're fine.
Sarah calls it fish cheese because she says it's got the texture of rubbery fish.
I can't eat fish. The smell of it clean turns me.
yeah, I'm not a massive fan of fish.
So come on.
I can't even walk
What's,
past the fish aisle in Tesco's. It's like
I was just going to say, Stefan's beat me to it. Stefan's just put on there waiting for RMSF to put everyone's tea to shame. I was just about to say, what's Daniel and James having for tea tonight?
You know, they're just sitting down, just finishing their lunch. Give them a rest.
What did he have the other week? Something.
Oh, every week it's something that's just absolutely epic. Just not what you would consider as your average Tuesday night meal. It's like,
What I think they do is they just pick some up off their menu
yeah,
I bet you they
and then they
sit.
just go, "Oh yeah, let's just say we had that."
They sit down at the. They sit down on a Sunday and they go, Tuesday night's lads' night in. We're going to pick the craziest shit we can find, and we're going to eat it and tell them all about it because they love that.
so
They like food.
I cooked,
Feed them.
I cooked burgers last week. Just did a couple of really nice burgers. I put the picture of them up on Instagram. They looked amazing and they tasted even better.
They were like this big, like they were
Yeah.
huge.
Stacked. But Danielle came back with a really good idea. So Danielle messaged after she saw the picture. And
Did
said,
you make
like,
them yourself or did you buy them?
So I bought the burgers, but yeah. I usually make them myself, but no, these ones were pre-bought. But Daniel came up with a really good idea. So we're talking about different ways we could do different things with food and stuff like that. And they suggested doing a burger competition. So everyone makes a burger and then it gets judged by somebody that's not made one, just on how it looks and how you describe it.
I will happily judge that.
I thought
Happily.
you'd be getting stuck into the kitchen and making one, mate.
Mate, like burgers, they're just like the best food in the world.
I can't connive. Doesn't eat food poisoning.
I could quite happily make one, but describing it would just be. I'd have to
Food
Food
leave.
poisoning and damag's not a good idea.
Was meat and bread, innit?
Yeah. Got a bit of cheese in there, some onions. You know, what else do you want?
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind
It's a
making
hot
one,
sandwich.
but that's something I would like to definitely do. Oh my god.
So I reckon we'll have to do.
Or
We'll have
I'd
to-
steak
we'll have to come up
sandwich.
with, like, each one of us will have to come up with like a signature burger. Take a nice photograph of it. Do a nice description to make it sound just about as amazing as you can, and then see who comes up with the best. You know, if
As I
James
say, I'll
and
make
Daniel,
one.
I think I'll be
Oh,
finding
well.
the best restaurant and ordering and getting it sent to the house and then take a photo of it.
I mean, Danielle's going to win it, obviously.
With like 28
I've got
day
a
old
burger van.
tongue venison with a smooth, and we're just like, yeah, we've got some beef.
It's a bit of beef, some lettuce, a slice of tomato, a bit of cheese in a bun.
I used a brioche bun though.
You got to do it, yeah.
Yeah, it's the only thing to put a burger in is a brioche bun.
Are we making the brioche bun, or are we?
Oh,
Look at
no,
you like,
stop
what?
that.
No.
Give me 2
You
seconds,
just go little,
lads.
get a pack of 4 for 79p.
Yeah, no. I don't go quite as far as to make my own bread and stuff. Sarah does. Sarah makes bread. I can't make bread.
It's nice fresh bread.
Same as baking cakes. Can't bake cakes either.
I used to do a mean lemon drizzle.
Lemon
Nice.
drizzle a lot. Yeah. No, I can't bake. I'm not a pastry chef at all. I can just about make a homemade rice pudding.
So, rice pudding, I like it with the skin on the top. Like,
Oh, it's the best bit.
thank you. Someone else that agrees with me. Mate,
The whole purpose for making rice pudding at home is to get that skin.
yeah. That's so good.
Hi.
I quite like bread and butter pudding. Have you ever had that?
Did I miss anything?
Yeah.
That's nice with a bit of custard.
As in, what sort of style bread and butter pudding? Right, with actual slices of bread, or like
I
the
can't see the
stodgy
chat.
cake?
Ah, no. So
The
that's
stodgy.
the stodgy. So that's bread and butter
Because
pudding.
the
That's
chat was up
traditional
there.
bread and butter pudding. The one that's got the
It's
actual
not.
slices of bread, that's just bread pudding.
I'm only
That's
getting
different.
certain comments.
Yeah, you know, but you can add butter to it to obviously make it sort of along those lines. But
Yeah. My nan
yeah,
used to
sort
make
of.
phenomenal bread pudding.
Nans make the best. I'm sorry. You cannot. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Bread pudding with the raisins and sultanas in it or whatever it was. And
You lift
yeah.
it up on a spoon, go like that, and it stays there. You're like, what is that doing to my insides?
Yeah.
That is the best. You cannot beat that.
I'm sure that's what they used to use wallpaper
I
up
think
on the walls with back in the day.
Made that in high
That's
school.
what they
I think.
built houses
Haven't made
with.
it
Like, they
since.
just slapped it on the brick, and that was it. It's done.
Used it for just about every home DIY. Plastered the walls, put the wallpaper up.
They built tanks in the 1940s with that stuff. I mean, it's solid. You can't.
Yeah, you know those tanks they built in the 1940s that are held together with that stuff are still running now, mate.
Absolutely.
Whereas
The
we
armored
built
vehicles on unit on a regular basis were built in
Another thing that
1957.
runs, it's really like tractors run real well that are old.
Yeah. That's because engineering used to be done by people. Stuff like that was put together by people, and now it's put together by machines. It's different.
But yeah, it takes a man to build the machine to make that product. Just cut out
Yeah.
the machine and just make the bloody
I
product.
take some laugh whenever.
Oh man.
Yeah.
And it costs like so much money for this machine that just folds boxes. Like, pay me, I'll do it.
It was a
Yeah.
there was a statistic came out last week that 10% or something of employees are going to be gone by the end of the next 5 years or something because it's going to be took over by robots. Like
There's somewhere,
people,
remember
yes,
where it
there's
is.
human error.
I think it's in
Machines
America,
and stuff will work.
they've got a whole restaurant that is run by robots. Like, they actually cook the food, and like, mate, it's fascinating to watch, but you're like, that's not, I don't know.
How's a robot going to taste that and go, that's really good. That's good enough to serve to a customer?
Right.
Exactly. You will find like, oh no, it's just wrong. It's just wrong. I ain't even
Yeah.
gonna get into it. But yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, no, that's
But then
that's
what people don't really understand is, though, once or if you ever got to that stage that robots could literally do everyone's job, what would a human race do as an income of earnings? Because how would you then supply yourself?
What everyone would be doing is building robots
Exactly.
or fixing robots, or do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. No, by that stage, robots will have taken over, and there won't be much of the human race left.
there'll be robots fixing robots.
Yeah, you seen Terminator, right?
No.
I love them movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, cybernetic apocalypse.
Was there not a new one of the Terminator released there recently?
Yeah, it was a couple of years ago now.
Was it? I haven't seen that one yet.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I've seen the one either.
Has anybody seen the new Craft movie?
The new what? Sorry.
The new Craft movie?
No.
Hang on, one sec.
Pokemon, gotta catch 'em all.
That's the first one.
Okay, yeah, I've seen that one.
No.
Yeah, well, they've a new one of it out now. It was only
Okay.
released there at Halloween time, but
Ah,
it's meant to be good. It's set like high school times, but it's set like now. But
okay.
the girl's in it from the original, if that makes sense. Who is that girl? I don't remember what she's called. And I can't even. Robin Tunney is her
Okay.
name. The girl
Yeah.
that's in it. So, but she's meant to be in it. It's meant to be good. So that'll be one to watch as well at some stage. There's meant to be a new Hocus Pocus coming out as well. That'll be good.
Yeah, it's out already.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm
Another
pretty
one
sure.
I need to watch. Just the list gets longer.
You remember the old Roald Dahl kids book, The Witches, and they made the movie of it.
That was so weird.
Yeah, well, they've just remade that as well and
Yeah.
re-released it.
That's
Was that when they like took their faces off?
Yeah,
that movie. The other movie that really like I. Yeah, that movie completely messed with me. The other movie that really messed with me, though, I'm a big fan of Tim Burton, but the film Coraline messed with me so bad. Like, I can't even watch it now, and I'm an adult. There's a girl who lives down the road from us, and she has a Coraline doll and carries it about with her like it's her friend, and it's the scariest thing ever. I'm like, buttons for eyes? No, thank you. It's just terrifying. Like, it's absolutely terrifying.
Sarah says it doesn't hold a candle to Watership Down.
Oh, Watership Down. At least I can watch Watership Down. Like, Watership Down's graphic, and I can watch it, but I can't do Coraline. Like,
Black Hawk Down's good.
Bambi, I can watch. Fox and the Hound, I can watch and deal with that. But you see, when it comes to the actual, don't like Coraline. Like,
Tom, are you feeling
Yeah.
guilty for eating
Nope,
chocolate?
not
or
my
something?
favorite.
No,
Although some scary movies,
not one single bit.
So every time you sort of like get a bit and eat it, you've got this like real sly, guilty look on your face.
What I think it is it's actually someone else's, and you've got to keep looking if they're coming in the room or not.
Well,
Trying to work out
not
if he's got a
really.
chocolate. Oh, well, look at that.
when we were kids, we used to hide our food. Like we used to hide the tasty. You're not going to run out anytime soon.
I've just noticed we're all wearing black. What's the chances of that?
Black's my happy color.
Black's the best. This is
Still
all I
waiting
got
to
left
find out
for
what.
Christmas.
Still waiting to find out what Danielle and James are having for tea.
I ain't even got that now. The dog's gonna have it. Hey, buddy.
Oh, there we go. Oh, every week.
Can you put it on screen? I can't see the comments.
Neither can
Let's
I.
do it.
It's gone.
Try
Oh.
again.
Jalapeno, honey butter, roasted cherry rice, and fried morel mushrooms. Whoa, that's like a 4-star Michelin like med.
I thought they were gonna put like poached hummingbird or something like that. Do you know what I mean? Like something really wild.
That sounds amazing.
Fried panda.
What did I say then? Poached hummingbird. What the fuck?
Where did that come from?
My problem is I say something and go, oh, I recognise that. Oh wait, that's my voice. And then it's too late, you know? I've said it.
Oh. Do you know what it would be worth? It would be worth the plane tickets and the massively long drive and everything else just to go over there for a barbecue.
Yeah, barbecue 100%.
Are you
Yeah,
driving?
unfortunately, I believe we're only allowed to leave about 10 miles from our house at the minute.
Oh yeah, obviously not right now.
So, I mean,
Be
Canada
back
is
by
only
8
about 10 miles, isn't it?
It's only a hop.
Yeah, it's only that with a couple of O's
Just
on the
across
end.
the
Right?
water, I think.
Hop across the pond.
You could just row there, Tom. Like, you know, you're on the beach, just
How long will the flight be?
in a little blow-up boat. Like, come on.
He's on the wrong coast though. He'll have to go the long way round.
He said he's got a week off thing, so you know.
Well, that's all right. If that's the case, I can stop by you, Wayne, pick you up. I can then stop round by James and pick him up. You see, and we're
By
en
the
route
time you
then.
get there, you'll have arms like Popeye, won't you? You'll be like, whoa.
Close and you can pick me up.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Oh right, no, that's it. Done. Look at that. Pop that comment up.
I can see him now.
Yeah.
There you go. Transport from the airport sorted. Accommodation. Yeah. When the world returns to some semblance of normality, we'll have to have a lads' holiday.
Yeah, it would. Yeah, that'd be sick, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah.
Just look like
Yeah,
I've
that'd
got
be
a head thrown out the side of my arm or something.
Oh my god, I've just had like the best idea.
I
I'm
just
not
mess
gonna
about
say
there
it.
and you get comments up and comments down and not working.
I have just had such a good idea with that.
Stefan's just popped a comment in as well. He's had an idea too.
Yeah, it's going off of that comment.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Wait till
Oh,
we
yeah.
get off the stream and I'll.
Yeah.
Oh, this is good.
We'll have a cheeky little off screen FaceTime.
Off the record.
Oh. Oh, do you know the other side of it as well? I don't know how far they are from Calgary. Calgary we can fly into, but I can get access to military indulgence flights, and you can take friends and family members and stuff on those military indulgence flights. So they're military flights that go out from RAF Bryce Norton.
Ooh, yeah, that's nice, isn't it? Turning up in a Chinook, like.
No, we'll probably be an RAF TriStar. Most they're fine. Yeah, they're mostly held together. they're mostly fine. They're mostly held together by duct tape, to be fair.
Mate, I fully trust duct tape. Like,
one of the scariest experiences. Sorry, getting off the topic, but one of the scariest experiences I ever had was getting onto an RAF helicopter. Go in, sit down. They fired up the engines. It made a really horrific noise. They switched off the rotors. Got out. The bloke went outside with a sledgehammer, banged on it for about 4 minutes, came back and started it up and just went, "Yeah, we're all good now," and we took off. Like, oh my god.
when you get on the plane and the
Nigel been
pilot's like
losing his
walking
mind. He
around
didn't
looking
even
at
like
the plane and he's like kicking the
yours.
tires.
Never mind that. He would lose his mind.
Mate, why are you kicking it? Like,
Literally walked
All the
out of the
necessary
hatch
checks.
with a sledgehammer in his hand, went outside, banged on the outside for a little bit. It sounded like he was like resetting the engine into position or something like that. Climbed back in, put the hammer down, waved to everybody, and shut the door. And then we took off. It was like, what's going on? Yeah, first time as well. So I'd not been in for very long at the time. So this was my first experience of doing that.
I've been in a couple of cars where they're proper rough. We went to pick some up for a mate, and he drove, and we're about halfway there, and I went, "Shall we have the radio on?" He went, "No, I can't. It's not raining." I went, "What's that got to do with it?" He was like, "If you turn the radio on, the wipers move."
What?
No, they're not even connected. So I can only listen to it when it's raining because I like the wipers squeak.
What?
Sort it out.
That's mental.
That's bad wiring. That is. That's like.
Oh. But yeah. No, as I was saying, military indulgence flights out of RAF Bryce Norton to Calgary, because obviously we send troops out to Canada quite a lot. So you can look up RAF
I don't want to go in.
and they're a fraction of the price of flying any other way. Yeah, fly out to Canada for less than 100 quid.
Do you get the sledgehammer with them? Is that
No,
included in the ticket price?
No, these ones, because civilian family members and that sort of stuff fly on these planes. They're in a little bit better quality. They only have the dodgy ones that are held together by duct tape on the ones that only service people fly on.
The sledgehammer is like throwing a piece of glass, break glass in emergency, innit? One of them.
Yeah. If
Got a
engines
tiny little hand, break that glass.
There's some lunatic with a rope round his waist climbing out on the wing to bang on the engines.
It ain't even rope, they're just holding on to each other's belts, aren't they?
Oh, mega. Yeah,
I'd have died. I'd have just been like, man, hang on.
That's genuinely doable.
Here you go. You've been issued some goggles. What else do you need?
The goggles that you go swimming with, like not like that.
Out of Poundland.
Mate, I love Poundland. It's just like the best.
Oh. It's lethal. You get some good bargains in there.
Oh,
Like
there we go.
we have Poundland here, which is surprising because we don't have much here.
Accommodation is well and truly sorted.
You really want to go, don't you?
Yeah.
Be awesome.
Start walking, you might get there by November, like.
Oh,
Yeah, lockdown by then.
Oh. How close
That's
is it,
right.
I think, starting out of these lockdowns? Like,
it's worth the travel to meet the guys, try the jerky. The amazing.
can any give me a
home-cooked
rotti
food.
yet?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Hmm. Just need to find someone to palm my kids off on. I can bring the missus in.
They'll be all right there, mate. Just leave some food about and lock the door on the way out. Leave the radio on. You're right.
Oh.
So I just tell them there's crickets in the box. There you go. You're fine.
Ah. Hmm.
Yeah, Stefan said
So what's
they
everyone
can
up to for the?
try
Oh, you know, yeah, I'll take some hot sauce with me, Stefan. They'll definitely get to try some then. What's
You know
everyone
when
up
the
to?
comments come through,
Yep.
can anybody put them up on screen?
No, only the person who owns the stream can publish them.
Yeah, I thought it was.
I can't.
There is a way to sort that.
Yeah, I think you got to pay for StreamYard because you then get like the background
Yeah.
bits like that. But you'd be right.
Oh, so here we go. Could take the kids with me. Just randomly drop them off.
We'll drop them off with James on the way. James can stay home.
So that, mate.
Yeah, so what's everyone up to for the rest of this week?
It's what way?
What are you all up to for the rest of this week?
Homeschooling.
Tom, you start. Go on. Working.
Working. Work. Work and just general things. Feeding. Bathing tortoise.
The only thing I got planned is a ride on Thursday. That's it. Nothing else.
Okay.
I tell you what I'll do. I'll send you a picture after. No, I'll send you one before and one after, and you'll be like,
Have you had a good opportunity to get out and do some riding and stuff?
"Yeah." We went out. When did we go out? A couple of days ago, maybe 3-4 days ago. That was good. Before then, we went out to our local, and then Shannon's mum and brother was there as well. I swear that was planned, but anyway, that was good. Yeah, that was a good ride. Not with obviously like everyone else because you can.
Riding in what? If you don't mind me asking, like a bike or a
Yeah, it's a
skateboard?
bike. I can't obviously go riding with everyone else because there's so many that you'll be breaking rules. Not that anybody would know because you're in a forest, but like still in it, you don't want to risk it. But
Is it like that downhill mountain biking thing?
that's exactly what it is. Yeah.
I am just
We
At
have a
the
friend
moment,
does that
working
there,
for-
and it's just crazy. It's scary.
It is scary. It hurts when you fall off. I am not gonna lie about that.
I done horse riding. That hurt too.
Yeah.
I know what it is.
Well, depending on the weather,
Horses
I
are
might
nuts.
clean out a new tank that I got gifted yesterday.
Nice.
cool.
It's not really usable at the minute for any spiders or anything. It's an old fish tank. It's 3 foot by 1 foot by 1 foot.
Okay.
So no real
Hi, Tanya.
room for it at the minute. Evening, Tanya. But it, you know,
Hello,
it's
Tanya.
there for when I want it and for when I need it.
Cool. Just want to stand it up on its end and create a really awesome, really tall arboreal enclosure out of it. Just make a fake front for
I
it.
did think about it. I almost thought about putting a pokey communal together, but where I'd stand it still is a bit like
Yeah. That was what popped into my head when you mentioned the dimensions.
Going back on to you said earlier about the fret poses. That's
Yeah.
the one that flicked the lid off the pot. I rehoused it and it was doing that. Check that photo out.
Oh, that's a nice fret pose, that.
How does it work with the communals though? Like, how would you know if like somebody's not getting food or not getting enough food, or if somebody's been eating, or is it just a case of when you eventually move them that you find out, and it's just hoping for the best?
well, that also comes down to what communals you have. I mean, Balfuri's pretty much tried and tested now that realistically you only ever lose a Balfuri down to like a bad molt or it's an actual death. It's not that it's been eaten. Pokies are still a bit, they reckon up to 18 months. Then after 18 months, then you can see them eating each other.
Yeah.
Incy, there's still
That's a touchy one,
there's
isn't
still
it?
not enough, I don't think, to say that Incy is or isn't a communal. And then there's Gigas, which they say obviously from the same egg
Is that
sac.
the one that you, there's a green and gold form?
Yeah,
Is the NC the green and gold form? Yeah. The Dark Dan done a test of a couple of communals and he ended up with 1 out of 8. But he got out of 1. Found an egg sac.
What a beast.
wings.
Wee green feet. It's angry.
Yeah, that's the
What is that?
that's the one. That's the one James was just talking about. The one that he rehomed and threw him a load of fret postures.
Oh, God.
Was that's the Ornithoptonus costalis?
Yeah.
that is a beast. Look at that.
Take it, it's an old world, is it?
Yeah.
It was only about it's about that big, like probably 2 feet.
It looks bigger. It looks
Yeah.
like it's about to launch itself at your face.
I was like zoomed literally all the way in, and I'm like, yeah,
Posthumous. Okay. One of the ones that Jaden sent.
beautiful tarantula, just bit of a wet wipe, like.
Yeah.
Every single. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, most of them will work for a period of time. I tried it like in the early days with OBTs. OBTs will do the same. While they're young, while they're still slings and really small juveniles, they'll stay together provided you give them enough food. But inevitably, before long, they start to cannibalize each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
How does it work with Balfours
I
if you
think
got like
I've-
an egg sac in the middle of all that? Like,
well, I think most tarantulas are sort of communal up to some sort of stage, aren't they? Realistically,
Yeah. I suppose in
Yeah.
the wild, it'd take them a while to disappear off, wouldn't it? But yeah, I don't know what it is with Balfours, but for some reason they just seem to do really well no matter what. And people do get adults, juveniles, slings, and just chuck them all in together. And there doesn't appear to be any issues with them for the most part.
I think it's
as
just
we're going in, I'd have to put like a tally on the
Um,
tank just to make sure.
yeah. I think with Balfour, it's just for that factor of that they're in such small quarters together. I don't think it's that they actually live communal, if you wish, but when they do see each other, they tolerate each other because there's no actual sort of like evidence to say, yeah, like if you were to dig
Yeah.
down in a burrow, there'd be like 150 tarantulas down there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do think that they are one species that do tolerate each other. It's not that they like to be a communal, it's just that they can get on with each other.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, don't get me wrong, you know, if it works, then it works. So, you know, why not make big communals or small communals or do whatever you want to do? If you want them solo, have them solo. You've got lots of options with Balfouri. That's what drew me to Balfouri, is that you could have them as communal. As we've talked about before, it's like, well, if you could say have a communal of GBBs, which would you rather have?
GBBs.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sort of works in the same factor. If Balfouri weren't communal when GBB were, you'd instantly go, oh yeah, communal setup, great. Or something else. Or like you say, if OBTs could work together as a communal,
Yeah.
I'm sure people would be having OBT communal setups.
Yeah.
I certainly would. I know that.
So it is just that whole thing that I don't think that they are necessarily a communal spider, but within the hobby, we do treat them along those lines,
Yeah.
which even I do. So, you know, I'm not saying that you shouldn't,
Yeah.
Dark Dan has a Paymatop communal. I think there's 6 or 8 or something in it. They're all different sizes, but so far it seems okay.
Hmm.
So it'll be interesting. If it works out, that'll be a real pretty communal. Like,
Yeah. So I've seen a lot of people say they've had varying levels of success with P Metallica communals. The one thing that puts me off of the idea of that is that if and when, or for whatever reason, they decide to become a bit cannibalistic towards each other, that's a very expensive meal for your other spiders.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
yeah,
that's it. I mean, Battle Fury are quite a pricey spider still, but you know that you're not necessarily going to have that issue with it.
Yeah. It's the difference in growth rate as well with the pokies, because like with pokies, so long as they're all staying around about the same size, you're usually okay for the most part. But the males grow so much quicker than the females that by the time the females are sort of like 2 or 3 inches, the males are twice the size, and it's your
Yeah.
females that end up getting eaten.
I suppose if you're going to start with a pokey communal, or regardless, communal's always a good start because they're not an overly expensive pokey genus.
No.
And you can normally pick up like a communal of 10 for probably around 50
they
quid
get big
mark.
as well. Like,
Yeah. I've done a small Regalis communal of 8. I kept them together for 2 years. After 2 years, I had 6 left. And I tried with Vitata as well.
Yeah.
how many did you start? How many did you start with, Wayne? There,
8.
and you lost 2 then.
Yeah. The Vitata I didn't keep for very long. I ended
Has
up.
anybody like ever been able to work out like? Has anybody ever been able to like? It's silly, but like an egg sac, like is it usually like 50-50 males and females, or is it kind of just kind of be like 70-30, or is it still very hard to gauge, obviously, because you'll have losses and stuff?
I didn't get that. So
Like, when it comes to the end and when they all mature out and stuff, say you clutch of egg sac and you sell them, obviously you disperse them out and then make it to adulthood. Like, is it usually like 50-50? Or is it ever proved out more?
There used to be a rumor, wasn't there, that used to say that egg sacs used to be 50-50, but I don't think that's the case by any standards of means. And I mean, you're never really going to find out what your egg sac's got unless you keep it all, that whole egg sac from sling all the way to adulthood.
Yeah. I
And
think
there's not going to be.
Probably be almost impossible to gauge, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Because the amount of people that you'd have to keep that many of that one spider.
Yeah. Can you imagine trying to do that with an LP sac?
I suppose an easy way. But I suppose the likes of both could be tested with.
But then again, also it might mean that
You keep
the
communals
tarantulas might
for
start
Balfour.
becoming a bit rarer, and the prices would probably go up because everyone's then keeping hold of everything till it matures out to find out the test.
I mean, I think
And there's a lot of stuff like between breeders, like trades and stuff for different species, and in that way everybody's sort of getting.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you can. I suppose, in a way, you can sort of kind of gauge it because everyone's at some stage bought, like 5 or 6 of whatever. So if you look at it as a sort of like small percentage, random bunch out of an egg sack, and if you like the pokies, for example, when I got the pokies, all the pokies that I got all came from the same egg sack. They were all spiderlings, second instar when I got them. I grew them all on until they were big enough to be able to sex and that sort of stuff. And I ended up with like 2 females and 4 males left at the end of that. So potentially the 2 that died were females and it was an even split. Or potentially, it could have been more males than females. Yeah. It's really tough to gauge.
But that's the thing. I mean, I've got obviously, I think it's like 7 Cambridgei and 7 Erminia from Dave. So they're all from the same sacks, obviously. Yeah. And, I mean, obviously I've got to wait for them to get to a decent size to be able to start sexing them. But that's what I've done. I bought 7 so that I had that maybe chance of like more females than males. But if it's more males than females, so be it. It's not the end of the world.
But I suppose if you're buying them that way and growing them on until they're big enough to sex, it's a good way of gauging really from a percentage what you like to have. I mean, I think from my experience, mostly buying small stuff to grow on, most of it has usually ended up turning out to be males. Unfortunately, that might just be bad luck though. That doesn't necessarily mean that the percentages of males are higher in sacks. It just means that I've been unlucky so far with a lot of them.
I did it with 2 Hattie purplers. I did it with 2 of those, and it was 2 slings from 2 different tables, and they're big female.
Okay.
So I was a bit like, no, all right. But then I got one in a mystery box a couple of months ago, and that was a male. So I don't fancy breeding them, to be honest, but
yeah,
that's one species I'd like to breed though.
You would?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I do like the Hattie.
Yeah. You just never see it. Well, we never see mine.
Yeah. I mean, mine's actually sat out at the minute.
Let me have a look.
I'd imagine that it's about juvie-ish size. It's probably about 3.5-ish inch now.
Yeah. So that was one of the spiders I was supposed to have come in this week. It was an adult female Hattie purple. Unfortunately, after we placed the order, we got contacted by the guy that runs the company to say that there was a mistake on his website and they actually didn't have it in stock. So we ended up being refunded for that.
Oh, right.
That was a bit disappointing. I was really looking forward to that.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. Yeah, mine's just not out. It's never out.
Mine generally ventures out about this time of the night and then is out till about 4:30 in the morning and then disappears. But then that's the whole thing. I mean, pretty much all the arboreal setups at the minute that I've got, every one of them has a cork tube.
Okay.
So it's that whole thing that they can then go and hide
Yeah.
Yeah. Most of mine are like that.
during the
actually.
day. Yeah, during the day, you're just never going to see them because they're always going to be in that tube.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I also like the look of the tube because it's a little bit more naturalistic for them.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
I don't have it in all the arboreal setups, but most of them. Evening, Alex.
Evening, Alex.
What up?
Does anyone keep
Say that again.
Does anyone keep fish?
Yeah, I still didn't get that.
We have a tiny little fish tank in
Does
the
anyone keep
daughter's
fish?
tree.
Gosh.
I've got 2 goldfish.
What does she have in it?
She did have a few tetras and little bits and pieces,
I
but
ended up with the bed of the other
sort
week.
of she's lost interest and we've stopped anything with it, really.
Yeah.
I think they're slowly dying off, but
That's a shame.
I have 3 tanks running of a 30 litre with a Veta. And then there's a turtle tank. And then there's an Oscar tank. The Oscar's moving to my dad's. He has a big 8-foot tank. So that's where she. And
Wow.
then when that tank's cleared, I'll set it up. It's cycled and ready to go. It'll just be a case of moving it. And then there's the turtle mood. I'm gonna put a like a water trough because there's more like water space in it, and then just clamp the lamp to the side and put a dock in it. Run the filter and still but get rid of the tank, and then it'll actually work out better. He gets more water space,
Yeah.
and it's out of my living room in the kitchen. So and then it'll just be fish tanks in here. Because the turtle tank, there's just water running all the time. Because there's an open top on it. So it's just like water running like a fountain running in the background. And there's no sound to the other 2 tanks, so that's what I'm going to have that when we're in here, hear it. The turtle tank's love. Need it for the turtle. When
Yeah,
we
when I
got the
first
turtle,
got Sarah,
they were contacted us that he needed a turtle rehab.
I'm gonna make a move as I am absolutely
Turtle arrived. The
marvelous.
tank was a mess.
yeah, I was just thinking the same sort of thing.
Yeah, I've got an early start tomorrow as well, actually. I've still got a few things I need to do before bed.
All right, so
Over and out.
you call him?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll call it.
Sounds like a good plan then.
Awesome.
Right.
Well, thanks for joining us tonight, Tyler.
Well,
Yeah, thank you.
Nice
No
to get you on finally.
thanks to everyone
in
that's
next
come
week
along
and
in the
see
chat.
No bother.
Yeah, thanks everyone.
That'll do.
Good night, everyone. Thanks for joining.
Thanks. I can't see
We'll
anybody
see
in the
you
chat,
Same
but
time
thanks
next
for
week.
tuning in. All right.
Bye.
Night. Bye.
See you. Bye bye.
Bye.